Hello everyone, welcome back to another week of Die Party LA at Night, a Vampire the Masquerade tabletop role-playing experience that I have here with some very dark and misguided people of the internet. Oh my god.
Are we
Misguided
working
now.
in experiences now? Are we officially experience crafters?
Listen,
No.
motherfucker, I've been saying experience for a while. It's not my fault you didn't notice until just now. So,
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I would have made fun of you like the second I heard it.
I don't know, man. This is my job. I deliver experiences to people. Anyway, let's talk about experience maker number one, aka Tuesday Gray. How you doing? How's your week?
I am the maker of all things that are called experience. My name is Tuesday Gray, and I can be found over at twitch.tv/Tuesday Gray, and the same on Twitter. You can follow Junk if you want to. I stream sometimes, but tonight
Sometimes.
I am looking forward to seeing what happens with these people that we are, well, these vampires that we are totally messing up.
Yeah.
They're people.
I mean, not anymore. I mean, if anyone has lost their people quota, it's
At
our
one
next
point-
person that we need to talk about, aka Tux Radamus. I believe you're no longer considered a person since you put a shotgun inside of someone else.
I think after what I did, it's going to be pretty hard to get my person status back.
You're just like, you know what? Fuck being a doctor. This is me now. I'm this guy.
That was me. That was me fulfilling my inner horror movie villain.
Yeah.
My character's about to freak the fuck out.
Oh, I mean, like,
Um,
he's like, So how you been?
As
What have
are
you
we
been,
all.
what have you been up to the past couple of weeks, Tuxie Woxy?
not too much. The stuff we got over on the channel, the awesome stuff we got going on here. Excuse me for that. Sorry about that. Yeah, not too much. Just a lot of shows and a lot of things. I don't craft experience because according to my sheet, I have no experience.
You flesh craft instead.
Yep.
Yeah. And the last player that we need to introduce is none other than the Spooter himself, Lord Spooter, Sir Spootington the First, aka Brad Dizzler. What up, sir? How you doing?
The first, assuming that there will be many more after me.
I mean, that's the nature of spooting, right?
Yes, that's how it works. Yeah, no, I've been busy this week. Podcast is still doing well, which is nice.
Fantastic.
I think I'm gonna take a different direction on my YouTube channel. Not so much Let's Plays or whatever they're called, but I'm gonna try to actually start using my writing chops and do some reviews.
Nice.
But I have to teach
Crafting
myself
content instead of just pooping it out. Like the
yeah,
rest of us.
exactly. But I gotta figure out and teach myself the best way to do that. So that'll take a little bit.
Start small. That's my suggestion.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's-
like don't bite off too much you can chew because
No,
like,
no.
I'm going to review Persona 5. It's like, yeah,
No,
Good
fuck
luck with
that.
that,
That's too much.
Mhm.
But yeah, so hopefully that'll work. And I got a stream too. I've been fucking slacking on that, but whatever.
yeah. And
I'll
last,
do this instead.
and last but not least, we have our storyteller for tonight, Mr. Dr. Wreckage. What up, sir? How's your week?
This underlighting works really well for World of Darkness. I
Oh,
just
wow.
experimented
Yes,
with
it
it.
does.
It looks great.
Are you?
Um,
Do you have like a bowl of sun in your lap? Like, how, like what are you?
no,
doing
I
about
sun.
it's on the ground.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the sun ball. It's the sun ball that I show off all the time. Whee!
Holy crap, that looks fucking well, you've just ruined all your lighting because your camera's like just reset.
It'll figure it out again.
Camera's
It'll
just like,
figure
what?
itself
oh my,
out.
What?
I am a wizard. That's why I have a light orb,
I like
a
it.
glow globe.
But
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the first episode of Vampire the Masquerade, LA at Night, Die Party, the one with the rare bloodlines. We're gonna see how many subtitles we can add tonight to the show title. There's something in particular I wanted to say. Yeah, we are easing into the system. There are still rules questions we haven't answered, and we will maybe run into them again. And also there are things that we haven't even touched on yet, and we're going to take it an episode at a time to introduce things for more complexity. For example, we're going to talk about how we'll probably talk about how we're going to do experience points at the end of this episode, though you aren't guaranteed to get any.
Ooh, is it a gamble?
No, that would be dumb. As written, rules as written, experience points happen quite rarely in Vampire the Masquerade, actually. So if anything, we're gonna maybe we're gonna see if we can't bring that up a notch.
Yeah. Cool.
So are we ready to get into it?
Yeah, man. Let's get into it. I'm excited.
Last week on Die Party LA at Night, 5 strangers woke up in a body pit and were quickly thrust into the unlife of the kindred. Our heroes have supped their first blood and taken their first unlives at the behest of a Bruja gang leader by the name of Amethyst, under the direction of Braveheart, or McNeil, as other people
McNeil.
call. Yeah, you can do a much better Scottish accent than me. I wish. I at least you can do that.
No, here's what you need
Scottish
to,
accent.
here's the secret to Scottish accents. Just say laddie, and then you're good.
Laddie.
Yeah,
No, I don't. I can't. No, it does. See, you're right. There are key phrases for some accents that work. Like you say the key phrase and you can do it, but
yeah.
Scottish just isn't in my toolkit.
For me, to
And
get
that's a
into
problem
my
because
to get into my
that's a
character,
problem
all I
because
need to
McNeil is
say
a major NPC in LA at Night. So
Wow, really?
Just think how many
He's
times.
just been in LA too long.
let's just look forward to many weeks of McNeil's accent being different week to week as you encounter him.
Good.
Sometimes being Irish, maybe sometimes drifting into Australian. It'll be
Wow.
it'll
No,
How
not
many-
even close.
Well,
I'm gonna
how
dig
many
it.
how many times did Sean Connery ask his wife to sit on his lap?
once,
Just once.
just once,
Only once.
So
because he would say
Yes.
shit
on my lap.
shit on
Yeah.
my lap. Yeah,
um,
shit on my lap.
so for me to get into my character, all I gotta say is fucking, and then like the rest of it just
Yeah.
falls into place. You know, like that's it. Like it's easy. Just find that key phrase for the guy, and you'll be spot on every time. Yeah.
I'm like from LA, so I don't like have an accent.
I'm triggered. Please
Oh my
continue, Wreckage.
With the 3 Sabbat bikers dead, the full extent of their carnage and your own carnage slowly dawns on you as the destroyed pool table and perhaps like a dislodged ceiling fan sort of slowly rotates, and maybe like a broken jukebox in the bar is playing a melody too slowly, some country thing.
Afternoon delight.
Because it's been all smashed up. The Sabbat bikers had bled dry what appears to be several truckers, just random people that wouldn't be noticed as missing for some time. People who probably came to the bar as patrons this night without realizing that it had been turned into a Sabbat haven.
God, I hope my favorite bar is in a Sabbat Haven tonight. Let's open the door and find out. Oh shit, it is.
I just need a beer. I really hope I don't get all my blood sucked out tonight. Oh jeez.
In total, there are 6 bodies, 2 of which have been heavily mutilated by Dr.
Can you really call her a doctor anymore?
I have a doctorate.
Do no harm, right? Do no harm is like a doctor thing.
It's Luke.
She kind of had to.
The
You know,
dude,
it's-
The Hippocratic Oath is also not legally binding.
And it's also called the Hippocratic Oath.
See?
Because it's
No,
hypocritical.
you're thinking hypocritic. No, not Hippocratic.
There, see?
Right. It's funny. That has never been told before. It's first time. That party. First
Totally.
time.
Exactly.
You all feel like you're coming down off of a high. You didn't realize it at the time, but during the fight, you felt this incredible sense of normalcy, but also urgency. It's very animalistic, and it was very appealing, and it is now quick. It fades as quickly as it came on. In its absence, you notice the stark weight, for the first time, of not being alive. This dullness, this emptiness comes in the post fight, and you're left for a moment where you've come down, before you snap back, and you each suddenly have to deal with the reality of what you've done. And I'm going to need from everyone, I was going to maybe exempt Tuesday, but I remember that she actually stopped singing and started beating the shit out of people. We're going to need to do our first humanity test for everybody.
Okay.
And when you roll humanity, you roll whatever your current humanity is. I think. I definitely should have had it open to the exact page. See, slowly introducing rules. Humanity, for those of you at home, every vampire is no longer human. They have something else in them. We will encounter this narratively, but mechanically what it means is as you do things that humans might not, that humans might find morally reprehensible, your humanity is in danger of fading away and being eroded. And this is the process by which ancient vampires become completely inhuman and almost to the level of demons or monsters. So let's talk about a humanity check. This is humanity, blah, blah, blah. Commits an act rated lower than their humanity rating. They roll, their conscience trait, not their humanity. That's important.
Okay.
Right. So everybody roll your conscience.
Oh, sweet. Okay, I see 3 dots in mine.
conscience.
Oops. When I click on it, it changes to conviction. So do I just need to roll a? What do I roll if I have?
Whoa, you're 100% right. That is so weird.
That's what mine does too.
That is a I think that is a intended feature of the no, dude, stop it. It's conscience.
It changes for everyone. That's so weird.
I think this is a feature for it's either Sabat or maybe this is a feature on the character sheet to allow you to play Dark Ages, because I know when you play Dark Ages, the rules are all the same, but they change the names for some stuff for some reasons. To like reflect a more ancient.
That doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
That's dumb.
Yeah, that is dumb.
You know, if you click, there's a in the rolling thing, there's there's like other 1, other 2, other 3, other 4. I thought that would say like let you just build a dice pool and roll for you, but it doesn't. It just says you roll.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
So what do I roll? Like just
Thanks, sheet.
the number of dots, D10.
All right. So, man, it's been a while since we did standard World of Darkness. It's there's a whole because you can do carrot. You have to do carrot 6. Roll 1d10, carrot 6. Is that how that works? Yes. So, whatever your dice pool would be, carrot 6, which is the standard success in version 20.
And it's just one roll.
Fuck.
Okay.
Okay. So I got 1 success.
Oh wait, I missed a dice.
Get fucked. I'm the
4?
most human. God damn.
Damn it!
That kind of makes sense, though, right?
All right. So
I mean, you put a shotgun inside someone, right?
Yeah.
you
I
did a
guess.
very special thing.
I guess. Whatever.
Your humanity will drop from 7 to 6. There is it won't happen immediately. This is the sort of thing that you'll wake up in a few days and feel different. But right now you're going to have a moral crisis, which ultimately will result in you being humanity 6. Tackle that as you see fit in character.
So if you're looking for like what Humanity 6 is, you can go to page 312 in the book, and it'll give you an idea.
It's basically jaded. Like 7 is normal human, and 6 is like me, I guess. You know, someone who doesn't give a shit and has been slowly eroded over the years to not care or love or feel happiness.
Your
Just has a
bearing
big
is still
one.
normal though, so
Yeah. It dropping from 7 to 6 is not anything, really.
yeah. It means that you can
It's-
commit theft if you want.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about thieving.
Ah.
I seem to have started at 6. Is that?
Yeah,
That's
it
where I
depends
started.
on where you put
Okay.
your points. Like,
Gotcha.
I think most of us put our points into
Yeah.
courage. So that's why Tux was higher than everyone else. So.
So now you're actually where everyone else is. But on top of it, you will have the crisis. You like everyone else will be 6, but you also fell to 6. You experienced the fall to 6, because you rearranged some people's meat.
God, your humanity is going to be so fucking low. Like,
With the
Yeah.
not necessarily.
I was
Just
thinking that.
fighting someone doesn't necessarily trigger. In this case, you murdered some guys for no reason.
It was our
actually.
first time.
Yeah.
But look around. Look who all they murdered. They were
Yeah,
bad
no,
people.
Right, and those sort of justifications are how your 3 characters are going on unaffected. With the Sabbat dead, you are alone with each other for the first time since you woke up in the body pit. And as I said, there is a dreary, weird song from a broken jukebox playing. And your 5th man, who is, of course, an NPC, is nowhere to be seen. You didn't really keep track of him coming into the fight.
What about those
Yeah.
friendship bracelets we made?
Guys,
He did
I
say
feel
he'll
like-
never forget.
I feel like shit. Where's the nerdy kid?
I don't give a fuck about that little
I'm
shit.
over here behind the bar, slowly dying again.
Not you, the other timid one.
I'm over here behind the bar.
So, Wreckage, I'm gonna go over to the bike. Not the bikers, the truckers.
Right.
I'm gonna pull out their wallets. and look
Sure.
at their IDs and stuff like that. You know, just going through the motions.
They're interstate truckers, they've got the proper licensing for doing big rig stuff. One of them's
Yeah.
fake.
Oh, these poor fucking sods. This one's probably not even legal. And just throw their wallets back on them and it's, look around the room a little bit more and it's like, if I know biker bars, they're gonna have some guns and shit in here. I need to recover my piece. And just, start walking towards the back of the bar.
Well, there's a shotgun inside a dude. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like, maybe I open the door and you can just hear, what the fuck? It's like,
The torso of a man with a shotgun kind of coming out of his entrails.
I come back into the room. It's like, what the fuck happened back there?
Maria's on her knees next to the pool table, and the man she left as a meat pretzel.
Oh yeah. He
Who's not dead.
You followed advice and staked him in the interim scene just so he's a non-actor, otherwise we'd still be in combat.
Oh, okay.
So, but with him as a incapacitated meat pretzel,
Yeah.
it was easy to stake him. So he is what would be known as in torpor. You don't know anything about that yet, but what is whoever staked him would have noticed
Oh
that.
yeah, you have a
he sort of
giant
immediately
fucking
became-
hole in your stomach as well, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you just have a hole and it doesn't matter. You have a hole and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like, I just fucking noticed that you have most of your guts missing.
Oh, what the? Shouldn't you? Oh.
It's also worth pointing out that on closer examination, because he's not bleeding, right? Because you actually don't bleed from wounds just natively, but Braden, on closer inspection, he does look like he got hit by a truck. His skull is clearly broken and his is offset, and
Nice.
his ribs are clearly fucked, and maybe his spine is even not set right because he got hit by a pool table
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, I'm just.
It was a rough night.
Maybe I'm just starting to notice all this stuff, and I'm just sort of like, oh fuck me. I just sort of reach over the bar, grab whatever, a whiskey or something like that. I just pour a shot, and I just take it.
You can't.
And I'm just.
You can't. You try and take it, and your mouth literally can't swallow the liquid.
And it's like,
It just sort of dribbles out afterwards because your esophagus is closed. You can't swallow food and meat unless you have that certain perk, or drinking food.
I'm just like, oh fucking hell! And I just throw the whiskey across the room, just smashes on the wall. It's like, slump down on the.
Hey, take it easy. Take it like things aren't bad enough. Here, I'm going over and I'm reclaiming the knife that I tossed at that dude. And I would like to look around the bar, behind it, under it, near it, and see if I find any other kind of weapons. I would looking for a pistol.
No, they don't have any other weapons.
They had a rack of shotguns or whatever in the back, didn't they?
There was a shotgun racked in the back. Yeah, it was not a rack of shotguns.
Okay, I just remember there being because
It's also, if on closer inspection you want to, the shotgun notably is clearly the shotgun of the bar, not of the Sabat. The Sabat don't have any guns on them.
Do the truckers have any guns on them?
If you rifle through their shit, you find stakes.
Interesting.
We're taking these.
Look, fuck it.
God,
Do what you
we
want.
gotta do
Is-
something
is
about
there-
Maria over there. Let's. Oh God,
Look,
Braden.
as far as I can tell-
I can't look at you guys, and I walk.
That one
outside.
has a spine that's bent over backwards. This one has a hole missing from her. I think they're gonna be fine. I don't
On the
fucking know.
outside.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. Look, and I like have a fleshy, like wavy, broken arm waving it in her face. See, it's fine. It's no big deal.
Look,
You
why
go
don't you guys
outside?
do the thing that I
went
did
out
before, right? Just, I don't know, think about whatever it is that you need to fix, and then it'll do it. Remember when I broke
Yeah.
when that stupid biddy broke my arm?
That's a good idea.
Biddy.
How do we do that again, Rick? Is that blood pool?
Yeah, just spend the blood pool. Yeah.
All right, let me get the exact number
Because
here.
I'm fucked up. I'm literally 1 point of damage away from
we played it by
creating a
ear
new
last
character.
time.
You made me cost
Kinda-
4
is that
to
healing himself.
recover my
Wait,
arm, yeah.
a character at the income. Okay, that's different. Let's see. Healing. That's zombies. Why is it talking about?
I think it's 1 blood per check or mark in a box.
Oh shit.
I'm hoping it's slightly better. I think it's better for like specifically
1, 2, 1, and 1, 2, 2.
blood use. Automatic feats. Healing. All granting added. Characters may spend blood to heal themselves. To do so, the character must concentrate and do nothing else for 1 full turn. Not relevant because we're not in combat.
Mhm.
A character may attempt to heal while performing other actions, but you're also, again, something we're not going to get into yet, but will come into the future. You're allowed to split your dice pool to do multiple actions.
Mhm.
Sweet.
Failing this roll means the vampire loses all expended blood. That isn't irrelevant. Spending blood to raise physical. Okay, that's a botch. Okay, what is the actual healing rate? Spend amount equal to her per turn rating is dictated by her generation. Yeah, we know, but how much do you actually get from it? Oh, God, this fucking system. Literally, blood use, healing, describes mechanically what you have to do to heal and does not say how much you heal when you do it.
Oh my god.
I-
Did you say that new edition is coming out?
Yeah, exciting news actually, everybody,
A
is that
vampire may spend 1 blood point to heal 1 normal, bashing, or lethal health level of damage.
a character must be resting in relevant 1 blood level per turn may be spent to heal. Yep. That's later on. Yeah, but exciting news that Tuesday just reminded me. This is what I was going to say during my intro and I forgot. V5, Vampire the Masquerade, just went into pre-release alpha testing super limited pool thing. They released a little adventure where you can only play 4 pre-made characters, so there are only 4 clans that are have anything on them at all. But the rules are super different, and I think in a good way from what I can see so far. They change feeding and hunger. They change a lot of things that I think they change dice pools and the very complicated combat system. So anyway, we're going to be, hopefully that comes out very soon and we can maybe switch to it. But,
Right, so I just spent 6 blood to heal 6 damage.
can you?
Why can I not?
What page was that?
How much blood do you have?
Now I have 2 left.
Okay, so that would leave you basically almost frenzying from hunger.
Right, I'm hungry.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I was 1 damage away from creating a new character, so I had to do something.
Well, you're not in danger now.
Well, but now I'm hungry.
Well, actually, it's fair to say this, I think.
He's first time healing as well. Makes
As
sense.
you heal yourself, you will feel increasingly hungry. So, are you going to go that deep?
Touch
are you
what
going to go
stage
that
was
far?
the healing? Sorry.
I mean, I still need to heal myself quite a
The-
bit. I'm still fucked up after
268.
that.
Yeah, the very limited paragraph about healing is on 268.
So yeah, I'm gonna go that far. Maybe I overdo the concentration. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right, we'll deal with that. Tuesday, you walk outside. As you recall, Amethyst had her cadre sort of pull up to the bar in a convoy of vehicles. And as you come out, you see that they have surrounded the bar and they're just sort of watching. When you come out, there is like a moment of, hands-on weapons. And you see it's you. You're fine, I assume. They don't make any motion to come closer, though. They sort of still sit in this encirclement and watch you.
So I'm pissed off. I feel low. Like I felt like kind of a thrill there for a bit, and now I just feel shitty. And there are people who I just met who I thought were people, and I thought it was people, and they're like torn apart, and skulls are wonky, and holes are. And so I just kind of collapse on the front porch or whatever kind of stoop is out there, and just like put my hand in my head and just kind of like rocking, like, oh my god, I don't give a shit about Amethyst or these other people. It appears that they're not going to try and shoot me, and even if they did, I might not die. So I'm just that's my status.
So like they just watch you, and a moment or two will pass when it's clear that like you're not being chased out of the bar by the Sabbat. That you haven't gotten his name, but someone who appears to be Amethyst's right-hand man comes over to you, and he has a sword. is all that can be said. And he doesn't have like a sheath in the sort of like soldiery medieval sense. Like he doesn't have something on his hip. He has like he stows it away in his coat in the way that a mafioso might have stowed away a Tommy gun in the past. You know, like he wraps it in like burlap or whatever and puts it in his coat. It's not clear that he's carrying one.
He carries it around like a musical instrument box or something like that.
Well, I mean, it's hard. It's even harder to carry around swords than guns in the weird sort of way of the world of darkness. And he comes up to you, and he is sort of very plain about it. Is the job done?
Job. Yeah, job. The people who were already dead, they're extra dead.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Are you happy now? Can we? Oh, I want to go home.
Well, you're not going home.
I want to. I want to go home. I want to go home.
Yeah,
I'm actually now. You see me digging around in my boot, and I'm like furiously looking for something, and there should have been a little baggie of white powder in there. God, where is it? Ah.
Even if it's still there, unfortunately, you can't use it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't know that, so I'm still looking for it because I feel like shit. So I'm thinking like, I'll just get high. God.
Look, it's not. Fuck. Okay. Is everybody okay?
Define okay. What? They're like Maria has a hole through her.
Anybody on your side
die again? No.
No. Okay. All right then. Why don't you go ahead and head over to the cars?
I like the idea that at that moment a fucking like chair comes flying out of the window.
Why?
Because Damien's in there just like, I want a fucking drink.
So after hearing you say, well, like everybody's fine, but a chair comes flying through the window, he like leans in through the door, like the bell jingles as he opens in, and he's got a hand on his sword, and he sees you just sort of fucking like doing like, you know, fucking pacing and, you know, what I assume is shouting or whatever. It's like, whoa, what's going on, cop?
I can't fucking drink anything, mate.
Yeah, well, you can. It's just the only thing you can drink is blood.
Did someone say blood?
Yes, I did. Whoa, you don't look too good.
I feel like kind of shitty.
Did you
That's
guys
an
let him
understatement.
fight them alone or something? No, you clearly helped, he says, sort of looking at Maria.
Who's still on the ground? Who's still kneeling on the ground next to the pool table? Hasn't said anything this entire time.
Maybe I'll wear it better than everyone else, but I'm pretty fucked up too. I got I'm out with the wounded lethal right now.
Okay, this is not. It's not our job to coddle baby vampires, but it is someone's job, actually. So we're gonna take you guys there now, where you can get some rest and some, like, I don't know, hugs or something.
Oh, fuck you, dude. We're in here, we're cleaning up your shit. These
No.
fucking guys are drained of whatever the fuck was in them. These guys sucking on them like fucking newborn babies. And I can't fucking drink anymore.
I'm just hungry.
Yeah, there's gonna be food there too. Well, you know,
Okay.
blood.
That sounds good, and I'll kind of pull myself out through the front door, see Laven sitting there on the ground, and just kind of collapse in a heap next to her. Be like, don't look at me, don't look at me.
Are you
Dude,
coming?
you are not looking. We gotta get you some food.
Yeah. That's. I think that's good. Is there an In-N-Out nearby?
Yeah, see, it doesn't really work like that anymore. But hey, one of us needs to watch you when because you're looking all crazy and stuff. You don't need to feed on your own. You'll go too far, man.
Okay.
Blue, are you coming?
Who's
Who?
blue?
Cops.
Oh, right. I was like, wait, I don't have
makes
red.
sense.
The first thing that went through my mind is like, I don't have red hair. I have blonde hair. But yes, I just sort of, because Australians call redheads blue, by the way, in case you were wondering. So that's why.
What?
Oh,
That-
Why the fuck do Australians call redheads blue?
Just like how you call a short guy tall. You know,
We don't do that. Nobody does that.
Australians do that a lot. Don't worry about it. So that's why I got super
Worried about it.
confused because I'm just like, wait,
Jesus, you guys are upside down.
You have a
For
whole
real.
country. I think you have a navy.
yeah, yeah, we have special forces. You know, like yeah.
Yeah, special.
Special.
Yeah.
I look at the bar filled with alcohol and I look over at the truckers that are just like, and I'm just like, yeah, get me the fuck out of here. I'm sick of this shit. Just storm out.
Hey, wait. Where are you storming off to? We still don't know where
No,
that
I
timid
I
guy
storm out
is.
of the house into the front yard, I guess.
So this guy, who's clearly not a nice person, you're sort of, you know, on your knees having your
Yeah.
moment, and he kicks you in the back of the foot like the shoe, right? And it's like, hey, keyhole, come on.
She doesn't look up at him, and then just kind of quietly like, what the fuck did I do to these people?
Kill him. He's like, he doesn't,
No.
he's clearly not looking closely. Like he doesn't,
No.
I mean, yeah. Technically, we call it final death because there's a first death to be a vampire. So
I
there's like
did
a
something way worse than that.
he can't like tell, right? Like the guy, the one guy's buried under a pool table, and the other guy is just viscera. Like he doesn't. It's not clear what happened.
But didn't the
can I
knife
just
guy get
point
his
at the-
arms to like join together at some point as well?
Well, he's under the pool table. Like the pool table collapsed on him because he was a pretzel. He couldn't hold it anymore, and then you staked him.
Well, there
so
was another.
he's-
There was another guy that I was grabbing.
That other guy never got vicissitude.
Didn't he? Okay.
No. There
Yeah,
was
the
one,
guy under the pool table has his arms sewn, like pushed together, and his leg like pretzeled into his back.
yeah, like only the one guy that you were grappling with never got mutilated.
All right, yeah, that makes sense. I thought he did.
Okay, yeah. So I think like, oh crap, I'm not super strong, so I can't just like shove the pool table off and be all dramatic.
I mean, you are super strong. A pool table's not really anything, do you?
I mean, also this guy doesn't. I mean, not to tell you how to feel in this situation, but like this guy has the disinterest of a college co-ed secretary, like in what's happening at the moment. Like you're having this existential crisis, and he's like looking around at neon signs.
Is he
like
like
a
But I thought like the Tremisi were like super interesting because of the fact that they can make superficial people more beautiful or whatever.
Well, he's not noticing this at all.
Okay.
He's not being indifferent to vicissitude. He's not caring enough to notice that it happened.
Yeah. So yeah, I think like just like finally like with him not saying anything, she like looks up and like stands up and like she's how tall is he?
He's tall. How tall are you?
Okay, I'm probably shorter than him. So
Alright.
like
that whole descriptive just right there.
That's good improv talk.
Yeah.
That's good.
How tall is he? Tall? How tall are you? He's taller than me.
Probably shorter
This is
than-
why our gnome in our Dungeons and Dragons game is ever smaller and smaller every time we describe it.
Yeah.
I am 5'7".
Like he's not crazy tall, 5'10", you know, like
Okay.
he's,
So I was not-
he's,
I
he's
wasn't
an
wrong.
guy.
I wasn't
Right.
wrong.
No, yeah. He is
Ah.
a man.
Yeah, so I like stand up, I like poke him in the chest, and then I like point with that same finger at like to the other room. Like that guy, I put a gun inside of him and he shot out his stomach, and him, and I pointed the one under the table, like he only has one arm now. Not because I tore one off, because I made both of them into one arm. And its leg is a pretzel now.
All right, so I'm gonna have you roll. Let's see, perception, empathy.
Okay.
No modifiers.
Perception, empathy. Go, dice, go.
Boom.
Difficulty 6,
Actually, no, 5.
5. Go.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's even a critical fail, right?
I think it's
No, actually, it's
because
exactly 0.
I got successes, so it
Two
cancels out the
successes,
ones.
two
Oh,
failures.
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mhm.
This World of Darkness OWAD is like that. Like ones canceling out successes is nightmarish for actually getting. It's like you make a bigger pool, and technically, statistically, that increases your odds of succeeding. But it honestly feels like you just get
Yeah.
more ones.
D10 systems are incredibly swingy. Like,
Well, it's most D10 systems aren't that bad, but this one you lose a success for a 1. Like that's a unique trait that Old World of Darkness.
Yeah.
So
even though you build your pool, you also get bigger chances of getting ones, which just immediately
it's
cancel
like
out
technically,
success.
it's like it technically your odds are better, but also roll 20. Like, roll 20.
like right here, there's 2 9s next to each other. There's 2 4s next to each other. There's 2 1s.
Yeah, it always feels like it repeats. So it feels like the ones are repeating ones, and you're never very sure because I don't actually know what the roll 20 back end looks like.
Yeah, but we're playing on roll 20, right? So everyone has the same disadvantage as advantages, right? So it doesn't ultimately matter. That
Well,
much.
but also you play against the environment, right? Like in this case, this guy isn't rolling against her. She's just rolling, right? Like, so anyway, you don't pick up on what you were going to pick up on, except for that he says, look, Keyhole, my job is to bring you to the car, not to help you deal with fucking post-battle post-traumatic distress disorder or
What
whatever.
the fuck are you calling me keyhole?
He like puts his arm through your chest
Oh.
and then puts it back out.
How do I... Why don't I feel that?
Because your body's dead. None of it works anymore, including the nerve endings.
Maybe get a new T-shirt. I don't know.
I could teach you how to make your nerve endings turn back on, but it's probably not a good idea right now.
Probably not.
I like the idea that you just.
We're going to take you somewhere where you can get some blood and you can use it to patch yourself up. You probably have enough blood to patch yourself up now, but it's a bad idea to drain yourself, you know, before we get to the food.
Is that like a? I like the idea. What was the name of this bar? I like the idea that Maria comes out wearing the bar's T-shirt.
Did I fucking even name the bar? Yes, I didn't. I didn't name this bar. I named the bar where you guys got
Yeah, salty
shovel-headed.
spittoon?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, we're never coming back here anyway, so
Well, good. We could probably... Well, it's a good thing we didn't come here when it was open because we can never get in. We're not tough enough.
these guys were tough enough, and you beat them. So aren't you tough enough?
I don't know,
Anyway.
maybe.
All right. How tough am I? I turned a man inside out. Like, literally, actually. So, now that everyone's been encouraged in one form or another back into the cars, you take the, like, half an hour drive back into LA. Again, anybody who actually lives in California, don't come at me and be like, actually, Simi Valley is, like, even at night with no traffic, at least 2 hours away. I don't care.
It's a vampire car.
We
It goes
don't
faster.
care.
So.
Right.
Right, yeah, we're vampires, so we drive
And maybe in Old World of Darkness, like, everything's shittier in Old World of Darkness except for the LA highway system, which
No,
isn't
everything's
shit.
Everything's
Yeah.
shittier,
Top
so
notch.
no one can afford to buy a car.
Nah, there we go. Right. So you take the 30-minute drive back into LA, and during that ride, Braden, as you pass like pedestrians, as you get into the heart of the city, like you actively have to, like, there's a couple of times like a cat or a dog that you actually like lift yourself out of your chair to like almost go to leave the car.
I almost imagine like the first time I see human as we drive past it, it's such a visceral reaction that I like try to go through the window and I'm cracking one of the van's windows with my forehead.
No, it's not quite that extreme.
God damn it.
You're just
Always
sort of like
say yes, wreckage.
no. I say no often enough.
Record, I
I
have
know.
a legitimate question here.
As opposed to all the invalid questions.
That's
that
right, yes.
All the illegitimate questions that I'm normally plagued with. Do carry on with your legitimate question.
So I'm wondering, like, since you know the idea of like, because it's not like giving up smoking isn't just like a nicotine addiction. It's also like a
an oral thing.
oral
yeah.
fixation.
Physical.
And the same thing with drinking and stuff like that. Is there anything that vampires do that's similar to that? Like I was thinking like chewing gum or something, right? But-
There are many vampires who still smoke, like
Okay.
even though they can't, literally just because of their oral fixation, and also because of appearances. Vampires. This is something else about vampires. While the beast sort of encourages them to be animalistic and survive at all costs, there's this other half of vampirism, which is like they have an urge to still
be human.
those that haven't
Yeah.
given in to be like Sabbat ideologies. They have this urge to like mimic life. So they do things that don't make sense simply for the, and it's not just because they're incognito or whatever, but like they actually want to like smoke still. They can't, but they make the effort. Of course, they light their cigarettes with like car lighters, because if they actually use a lighter, they will fucking freak the fuck out.
Oh
From
yeah,
fire.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like, they try constantly to imitate life and are constantly reminded that they aren't alive. That's part of being a vampire, and
Right.
and you just did a perfect scene of that when you went to try and drink, and then were frustrated that you couldn't.
So that's going to be a constant thing. So I'm not going to be able to get like like. God, I'm not going to be able to get my fidget spinner of the fucking 19.
Well, the thing is, you're not.
It's Pogs.
You're
Pogs
like
are
you may still
Vampire
have whatever
pogs.
mental addiction, but you don't have a chemical addiction anymore because there is no chemistry in
No,
your
I
body.
get that, and that's
So-
that's why I'm asking about like the oral fixation or the chewing or whatever. Like,
Yeah, so like you will pick up whatever habit, like you'll figure something out as a
Mhm.
as a character. Something will happen that you'll eventually figure that out. The convoy of cars eventually pulls in next to a club. The sign is on. It's clearly open. The sign is it's not neon like many of the signs in World of Darkness LA. It is a tastefully carved like it almost goes for that European, like there's a bar coming out and the little chain to like a wooden sign, you know what I mean?
okay,
Yep.
Then in sort of nice cursive letters in black that are being lit by some lights pointing at it, it says "A Taste of LA." And as you pull up, Amethyst is like says, "All right, we're at the Taste. This is a place you guys are. This is where you guys are going to be staying for a little while."
I look up at the sign. I'm just like, oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Right? Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny. Everybody gets out, and they beckon you to get out as well, and they lead you in. And if you have no resistance to going in, you find yourselves in a. It's like a cafe, but it also has some of the trappings of a bar, in that there is a stage for live music, and a long actual bar, but the rest of it is like tablecloth circular tables with a light at each table, not candles. And as you come in, a couple of people look up from newspapers and books, and you realize right away that all of the patrons currently here are vampires. And it's very quiet. You get the sense that sometimes it's not. But there are just one or two or three patrons, and they have a cup of coffee in front of them, it appears. And on closer inspection is a cup of blood. And as you come in, the little bell rings. And from the back comes the best description of her appearance is like hippie chic, I guess. She has that thing, long, straight blonde hair with a band.
Right, I get you.
You know, like the hippie girl look.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes out, and she like her hair and her style denote this sort of this hippie's look, but she's wearing a apron and is very clearly also in like a uniform for taste. It doesn't have any labeling, but it's sort of clearly that sort of everybody has their own take on the waiter monkey suit or whatever. This one happens to be black and gray, very formal, very fancy. Is a very nice way to explain this place. And she comes in and she says, "Hi, oh, Amethyst, welcome." And oh gosh, as she looks at Maria. Oh, you're a new face. Or you must be new in town and something bad happened. Please, please sit down. Oh my God, Amethyst, what happened? And Amethyst is like, oh, look, it is. Don't worry about it. These guys, like, they had to do a thing, and they start talking. But you get the sense that the woman is very unconcerned with Amethyst's like long story about what happened. She's actually just got a gentle hand on your shoulder, Maria, and she's sitting you down. And they like she's more I guess the word I want to go for is like tending to you than caring about the story. And very quickly she shouts back, Murray, get out here. And a man who looks like one of the Beatles comes out. He's got those circular glasses that were really in.
I was about to ask which Beatle, so now we know it's John Lennon. Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, he's got the look that was in the 60s and that the Beatle and that John Lennon had, which was the straight hair and the beard, and then the glasses. And so he's got that look, but he's also wearing the uniform. His sleeves are rolled up, and he's peeking out. He's like, "What's going on?" And she's like snapping at Maria, and she's like, "Get a cup or two, or three, or 10." And she like he disappears back in the bag. He's like, "It's all gonna be fine. Don't worry, sweetie. Are you completely dry? You should start healing."
No, I don't think so.
I like the idea that you touch the wound and you're just like, it's a little moist still.
Maria is like very out of it, so she's just kind of like
what's
no,
wrong? Are you
really know.
Amethyst? What's wrong? What did you have her do? What happened? And Amethyst like is like 3/4 through the story, and she starts over at as I said, like McNeil wants these guys, and she goes through the story again, and Maria also isn't paying attention the second time. Not Maria, the lady, whoever she is also not paying attention the second time, until she hears the word like caitiff and like fledgling, like those words come out at some point in the story, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, are you new?" Like she says it in a really like accidentally condescending way.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so please. Okay, just breathe. I mean, you can't breathe. Don't look. Calm down. Breathe. Like pretend in an emotional way. Breathe. Murray, bring it out here. Okay. Just take a second and think about not having a hole in your chest. Think about it real hard.
Why don't you rub one of those fucking crystals around your neck on it? See what that does.
Okay. Yeah, Maria like just kind of shuts her eyes, and I'll try it.
All right, now feel free to heal as much as you would like.
I'll heal like one or two, so like the hole will like it just like barely closes like a little bit.
Yeah, the hole is closing sort of like, you know, when Cell in Dragon Ball Z gets a fist punched through him, and then he's got a hole, and it's sort of like the meat just sort of like reinflates a little bit, and you sort of stop halfway. And she's like, "Oh, good. Keep going. There's going to be plenty of there's plenty to spare here." Murray. And Murray's like, "What?" And he comes out, and he's got like 2 pots of coffee, and then these very stylish silver sort of pots. And he's got those in one hand, and in the other hand, he's got a waiter tray that's got a bunch of coffee cups on it. And he puts the coffee cups on the table in front of him, and he starts he puts one specifically in front of Maria, and one in front of Braden and everybody. And Amethyst and her cadre like put up their hands like, we're actually leaving. Don't pour us or anything. And he starts pouring out of the coffee cups, and to the surprise of nobody with a brain cell who's been listening to this setup, it's blood.
Is it like warm blood? Is it like is it coffee infused? Like, what are we dealing with here?
That's a good question. It's not warm. And compared to feeding earlier, where it was warm and also you had an orgasm, it's a very lukewarm experience. But actually, it's cold.
This whole fucking description.
It's actually cold, and feel free for. I expect one of you will take a sip and sort of react to it.
I can't even control myself. I would think.
No, you're just like, who? And actually, he sees that immediately in you. First of all, restore 1 blood pool from the cup. And second of all, the second you're you pound it, he takes one of the coffee cups or coffee,
mug.
No, what's it called when you have a whole thing of coffee?
Carafe.
Carafe? That's what they call it. He takes that.
You can call it a jug if that makes you feel more comfortable.
If you're a pleb.
Pot. There we go. Coffee pot. Thank you. I said that earlier. I said that 2 minutes ago. Didn't I? It completely popped out of my mind.
Wait, are me and Tux and Tuesday coffee hipsters? Because we said carafe.
I said carafe, so I figured. He puts the pot. He puts one of the silver coffee pots in front of you and takes the top off and just sort of pushes it in front of you.
The top of a carafe is called a jester. Just so you know.
Fuck you.
No, I'm just kidding. That's not what it's called. I have no idea what it's called.
Fuck you. He pushes that across to you, and you actually don't have a choice. You pound the whole thing. Restore 4 points of blood. Okay. As you drink the entire pot of coffee. It's cold and it's unappealing in that way. It's not as great as feeding off of somebody, but you still restore your blood pool. You obviously don't, but I assume maybe Tuesday, maybe Damien, if you both actually drink, one of you has take a sip of it and you're like, oh, that's not straight from the tap. And
maybe
the lady,
I actually probably drink it thinking it's coffee, to be honest with you.
It's blood. You're halfway through it.
Yeah, I'm just I take a sip, I'm just drinking, I was like.
So this is kind of disappointing. Thank you.
For
it though.
Right, you're all okay. So
you got anything a little warmer, maybe black?
You got anything do you have any cocaine?
Maybe no one bats an eye, but I just sort of look at you across the table
oh
What
please!
are you gonna do to me? I'm dead.
You're an LA cop in World of Darkness. You fucking do coke all the goddamn time. You do it right out of the evidence locker. I don't even.
I mean, I know people who do that, but not me.
Right.
I'm a straight booze and cigarettes kind of cop.
I remember it's really quiet. You shouldn't do cocaine. It's bad for you.
Okay, all right.
I'm
So
dead, Maria.
What do you
all right.
like?
Oh, please,
Oh,
everybody.
right.
Oh, Amethyst. And Amethyst is yeah. And her gang, they don't fit in here. They're leather wearing, jeans wearing, actually look like beat people to death all the time thugs. She's leave. And Amethyst is and she also whistles, but she does like the two-handed whistle. I can't do that. I can whistle normally, but she does the woo, like the big one,
Yeah.
and does the hand gesture, and they all just
Sort
leave.
of thing like that.
And she's like, oh, okay. Oh man, you must have so many questions. Why did they let?
Maria hasn't touched the blood, by the way.
Please, oh sweetie, you have to drink so you can heal more.
I wouldn't do it. It tastes like shit.
It tastes fine. Thank you very much.
It does the job. It does the job, Maria.
Yeah, well, right.
Trust me, it does the job.
So it's a long story, but basically, in order to keep the vitae in the blood, we have to chill it. We do have a whole selection of drinks where we get a little more creative, but they aren't as nutritious. Or
You got anything with caffeine in it?
yes, actually, Murray, get him one of the So it's pretty complicated, but we have it's also usually pretty expensive, but feel free. Oh gosh, I just don't even know where to start. Why did they let a bunch of fledglings get into a fight?
Get into a. Wait, but they asked us. Could we? Oh, this is.
It's 1 blood point from the cup, right?
Yes,
Okay.
from
Maria
a
grabs
cup
it
of
and
coffee.
slowly
Nurses
drinks.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are we like actually dead? Like dead?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know
think
that.
they wanted us to prove something to them or
I
something.
I don't know the specifics of what happened, dear. I don't know why there's a whole brand new group
They
of
were
caitiff.
testing us.
Oh my, that doesn't. Who would? Oh, that sounds so unlike everyone. I don't know why they would be so.
Well, maybe you can answer one of my questions then, because I ain't got no fucking idea what the fuck.
Oh, I'm still answering. I'm sorry. What was your name, dear?
My name's Lavin. Also,
Lavin.
guys
Yes.
you
One at
guys.
a time.
Is there a reason you're playing the same song over and over again?
I'm sorry. We don't
You're
have any
playing-
music tonight,
It's a great song.
dearie.
What? You
There-
guys
there-
hear that?
Oh, you've had a very stressful evening.
No, I hear it.
Maybe
Oh.
you should take some cocaine.
Oh,
Are you like one of
sweetie,
those
are you-
dependents?
No, it's playing right now. No one hears that.
Oh, sweetie. She takes your hands like she's about to tell you you have cancer. And she's like, sweetie, I think you might be a Malkavian.
I don't even know what that is, but it's clearly playing. It's The Cure.
Yes, sweetie, it is. It's our favorite song. Like, she sort of puts her hands down and pats it a little bit. And she she goes over to Damien. She sort of hands. You had a question as well. Please feel free to ask any questions that you guys have.
Yeah. So the guys that we eviscerated tonight, charming fellas. Why the fuck were they calling us Sabat?
Sabat?
Yeah.
Who was called Sabat?
They all called us that.
Mm-hmm.
All of us here.
Yep.
Sweetie, you're not a Sabat. By dint of not knowing what a Sabat is, you're not a Sabat. Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
They seem pretty fucking scared of us, to be honest with you.
Oh, that kind of explains it. Were you all in some sort of pit?
Yeah,
Or
we were definitely
grave?
in a pit. There were a whole lot of bodies in there. None of them are alive. None of
I
them.
had to dig my way out.
As far as I'm convinced, that shit is not real. And
Okay, don't. All right. Well, it's very complicated. Kindred, have vampires, sweetie. We prefer to be called kindred.
was that like a midget, like short person thing?
She just sort of glares at you. Kindred broadly speaking, divide themselves into 3 groups based on their politics. One group is very traditionalist, as you might expect people who never die to be. They believe in wealth and power and heritage and lineage delineating who's in charge. Another group are revolutionaries, such our own, us, Anarchs, who don't believe that that's fair and who believe in, well, many different things. Some of us are actually Anarchs, and other of us believe in democracy. And are you all right?
I need more.
Oh, sure. Here.
Yeah, like Maria, like chugged, like took, like didn't chug, but like she drank it, and like the hole started healing. But now, like, I don't know what it looks like when you're down to 2 blood, but Maria's down to 2 blood.
All right, so she pours you another cup. So there are many different ideologies in Anarchs, but basically we're not associated with the people who believe in traditionalism, and they're called the Camarilla. Then there's a third group, and they're called the Sabbat. And they aren't human anymore. Well, none of us are human anymore, but they take the idea of not being human anymore and they go even further than that. It's like prison, kind of, where you're maybe a perfectly fine person going in, and then you decide to be a criminal on the inside to survive. And they murder people and genocide people, and they treat humans as cows, and they believe in kindred ruling the world, but more than that, they believe in causing as much pain and suffering and sadism as possible along the way. They're evil for the sake of being evil, almost.
So, are you saying that we have to pick a side now? What
No.
was your name again?
Oh, my name is Alexis. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. And this
Listen.
is my husband, Murray. And Murray sort of waves.
Alexis. Hi, Murray. Yeah. So, if all of these kindred are on these sides, have these beliefs, I mean, where does that leave us?
Well, normally kindred come to LA because they're Anarchs, and LA is one of the few cities that the Anarch faction has safe control over. So kindred come here to avoid being persecuted by the Camarilla or the Sabbat. We're not used to unaligned vampires showing up. So I encourage you strongly to consider Anarch ideologies, but regardless of what you guys decide, the taste is here as a sort of B&B. We specialize in offering a place to stay for people who've fled here without any planning. As you may know from media, I guess, it's true. You can't go out in the sun. It will kill you. So you need a completely sun-tight place to sleep. And that's not easy to just have. So we have a sort of boarding house set up in the back. And obviously we have supplies to cater to.
And how much do you suppose it's going to put us out?
Oh, nothing.
You do it out of the kindness of your heart.
Kindred don't charge each other money. At worst, we charge each other favors. But human currency means nothing to us. I mean, it does because, we have to run the shop, which means we do have to pay taxes, and we do have to buy things. And so we still have money, and we still use money to interact with mortals, but between vampires, you don't ever cut each other a check. Usually.
Well, in that case, can I have another carafe of blood, please?
You can have a few more cups. You should be fine, sweetie.
I'm
it's
really
very
not fine. I need more blood to heal myself.
I need 7 more blood.
Yeah.
You need a lot of blood to heal yourself.
I need a lot of blood.
Yeah.
they'll give you each 3 more cups, and the reason they'll only do that is they say, oh, I understand that you got into a fight and you're very hurt, but you do need to temper your own thirst, especially this early into there you can develop an unseemly habit. You can go too far. Be sure to always take what you need, and maybe even a little bit less. Never take more than you need. That's
So we already need it, but you can become more dependent on it?
I'm sure you've experienced the incredibly positive sensation of feeding in the first place. I don't quite understand it. You can't be addicted to drugs anymore, but it is the closest thing. So you can get blood drunk.
Yes.
If you still need some healing, we will pace it out tomorrow night. You'll be fine.
All right.
Honestly, you would have been fine with leaving the hole in your chest. There's no urgency. You don't deteriorate as a vampire at all, but you also don't naturally heal anymore. You will have to spend blood for all minor injuries. Oh, I'm not
What if
used
we
to.
had to get in another fight?
You'll I hope you can avoid it. Many kindred live in LA completely free from violence. But
we were just unlucky then.
I don't know who's responsible, but they're going to get an earful from me making you fight on your first night. But I understand that it had something to do with alleviating the suspicion that you would be Sabat. It's clear to anyone with eyes that you're just caitiff.
Can I ask you about what I did? Because it's kind of freaking me out.
Did you kill someone, sweetie?
Yes.
Oh, it's a little more than that.
We went to a bar, and I went around the back, and while they were in the front dealing with the people up front, I came in the back, and there was another person back there who pulled out a shotgun, and kind of instinctively I rushed at him, and I put his shotgun inside of him, along with his hand.
So I want you to roll perception empathy again.
Okay.
Difficulty 5 again.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
4 successes.
Whoa!
She sincerely doesn't know when she sort of looks to Murray for a second and then looks back to you, and for a moment she's searching for words, and then she gives an explanation that you can tell she's very tenuously married to. She's like, vampires have all sorts of abilities and capable of great feats of strength and speed and some even some weird things. I wouldn't dwell on it, and I want you to trust. She sort of takes her hands together like she did with Lavin. I want you to trust that you will come into yourself. Think of this like a second puberty. You're teenagers, and you're going to have to relearn how your body works, and you're going to be going through some changes.
Okay.
She's very, very sincerely trying to reassure you, but she definitely doesn't even know what you Like,
Right, yeah.
She doesn't even know what you described to her. Nonetheless, does she know what the
She
vicissitude
doesn't even
is?
get it. Like, what the fuck are you talking
Like
about?
she's maybe thinking that you punched him so hard that you put the gun into him. Like, she's not thinking that you merged meat and meat. Like,
Okay, yes, but I get like the impression she just said like it doesn't even like I'm just gonna say something to reassure her because I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
The door jingles. And in pops Rodney.
Hey.
And that's what we'll take
That time you showed up.
our first break. So, as I was saying on break, that Dave cut off by going live, and this has absolutely
How
nothing to do
dare
with
you?
this has absolutely nothing to do with the mythos in Vampire the Masquerade. But the reason why vampires and other demons in folklore don't have a reflection is because all mirrors back then were polished silver. They weren't glass.
Oh shit.
And silver was seen as the element of purity, like the purest element, the element free of sin. So the idea that it wasn't that they didn't cast a reflection. In modern mirrors, based on that folklore, actually vampires would cast a reflection. It was just because they wouldn't cast a reflection in silver. And that's the same reason why silver is like the thing that kills a werewolf. Again, because of the purity angle. And if you look at something like Blade, they took that silver thing, and vampires were allergic to silver in Blade. Like they maintained that sort of mythos. In Vampire the Masquerade, everybody is fine with silver, except for the werewolves, and that has nothing to do with purity or anything. The werewolf mythos is weird and silly, but let's not get into that because it's a Vampire the Masquerade game. And also, Rodney walks in.
Did you guys know that actually silver is like, you know?
He says that whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just found out that we're fine to silver because I like tried to kill myself with it. I'm fine.
Oh God.
Wow. Dog.
Hi guys.
Hey, Rodney.
Where the hell have you been?
I'm here now.
Yeah, that's not an answer.
What happened to
everything's really screwed up. Where'd you go?
I didn't want to fight, so I hid, and then I hid on the way back, and then when they were leaving, I didn't want to go with them, so I.
Okay,
Hi.
see, yeah, we're gonna have to work on that. Also, where's Amethyst?
They left.
That's
What-
bullshit,
this is-
man. If
this
they
is
ask
weird.
what you did, I'm telling.
What? What we as a group did the thing that we as a group were supposed to do.
I got a pool table smashed in my body. I almost died. Maria
saw
has a
that.
hole in her.
I saw that. Why did you stand there the second time after he hit you the first time?
Why did you stand there after he hit me the second time?
Yeah,
'Cause
you
I didn't
weren't
wanna fight.
anywhere.
I'm feeling
So
a lot
you were-
of undue
were-
pressure here.
You were there, but you just
Undo.
hid.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the green fox like you, they don't last long on the force. I can't imagine being a bitch will last long in whatever it is that we're now.
Alexis slaps your hand.
It's like, if that was
How dare
supposed to make me hurt, it doesn't. You're
No, it's like the way a wife does to a husband or whatever. Like, you know, like how dare you? Like, how dare you chastise him? He's new to this. It's a
in case
wonder
you
that
aren't
any of
fucking
you...
aware, the rest of us are too, except this one has a hole in her and this one has a pool table upside his fucking face.
It's a wonder
Yeah.
any of you survived, and I don't begrudge. You're all okay, and if he, none of you should have been put into that situation, and you shouldn't judge him for hiding. Sweetie, do you need any blood? She sort of walks over to Ronnie. He's like, I'm actually fine. He sort of like shuffles his feet. And Alexa says, all right, everyone. It's time for you. We're gonna bring you into the back room now and show you to your mats. We're just a couple.
Well, we don't sleep in fucking coffins.
No.
Can we?
I mean, yeah. You actually don't.
'Cause that would actually be kind of cool, right, guys? Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
No.
It
It's-
seems a little constricting, but knock yourself out.
You're also not going to sleep. You're going to shut off during the day and then turn back on.
Like powering down
Is
a
that like
computer.
blackout drunk instead of like, spinnies? Drunk?
It's like being dead and being alive is probably the more accurate metaphor.
Yeah, okay.
During the day,
I like the drunk one more.
so we don't fall unconscious. We fall. It's deeper than that.
You shouldn't have any dreams. There are some things that affect it, but for the most part, you shut off completely. You have a sense of your surroundings in case something threatens you, and you can wake up in the day to defend yourself, but that's more of a function of, I'm sure you felt sort of this animalistic urge. There's a part of you now that you're a kindred that is totally invested in keeping you alive.
Well,
And-
we're dead, so.
She glares at you again, and continues talking, keeping you alive, and it is about the only thing that can wake you up during the day. Should something happen to threaten you, like someone breaking in, you aren't just a completely helpless corpse in that situation.
One final question, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
so that we
please.
can give up all hope. There's not some fucking unicorn horn goblin hair potion that we drink and then we're good again.
She sort of, what's a really appropriate face here? This is sort of like,
Michael Jordan saying stop it on that fucking commercial.
no, she's, I hate to go back to this metaphor, but like a doctor who's got a terminal patient and the patient's like, but what about alternative medicine? And then she goes like,
What about acupuncture?
like, it's not disproven. So basically what she says is like, there's always been rumors, but no one even claims to know anybody who's ever actually been it. It's worth saying, she says in a very tender voice that I may not be communicating in particularly well. It's worth pointing out that this is a rumor that is held by and spread by fledglings. And after a little while, you won't really mind and won't.
Got it. Give up.
Terrorist.
All right, guys. None of this shit matters anymore, so throw away your family, I guess. Throw away your lives because apparently we're undead monsters now.
I mean, that seems to be the case.
She sort of has a scowl on her face. Others may have been a little bit harsher about this. It's true that you shouldn't go home or shouldn't return to your families, but you don't have to disappear. Over the next couple of nights, you can think of something to tell them, an excuse, a reason. You can fake your death. normally there's some amount of planning that goes into this, and by the basic fact that you're Caitiff and Sabat Shovelheads, unfortunately we don't have time to make the transition any easier on you.
So I turned to Lav and I was like, well, yours is pretty easy. You just write a note saying, "Dear Daddy, I skipped town." I turned to the Braden and I was like, yours would be.
Do you even have any friends or family? Say that to Braden.
Well,
yeah. It's like, well, actually, it probably doesn't matter. Like, you could log on to what do they call it, Hordecraft, and you can send messages whenever you want, so that's fine. And then I turned.
I'll send him an email.
I turned to Maria and I'm just like, yours is a little more difficult, but what are you, like, general surgeon, plastic surgeon?
I'm a resident right now.
So you took a bender one night and you had too much of those prescription medicines that you've been stealing all these years from the hospital. Boom, easy, nice and clean. Everyone will believe that shit. Residents off themselves all the time.
Residents off themselves all the time. It's like probably painfully true also in the world of darkness. Like, not the least of which because sometimes the masquerade requires you to cover up things that have happened in emergency rooms. But the world of darkness probably has a high turnover rate for residents. Like, hey, that guy's really good. I'll snatch him up as a ghoul.
I'm just another statistic.
Yeah, like that's a great way of putting it. Actually, like they're another statistic. So, like,
Great.
Anybody can go missing for one night. So there's no pressure for any of you to figure out what you're gonna do yet. You can stay here at the Taste for 2 weeks. You're gonna have to find your own haven by then. That's a little further down the way.
Why is it called a haven and not a basement?
Well, because the original vampires were, ancient European aristocrats, and when they referred to each other's
But you realize
housing
we can make
arrangements.
phone calls using like telephones that aren't connected to the line now. So there's a lot of things that need to change about the way that we talk. And honestly speaking, fucking
rather call
haven. Like, imagine if we were walking down the street and some guy said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to my fucking haven." You'd think he's a fucking idiot.
Well, it's a kindred terminology, and frankly, I think it's very appropriate.
Basement. We'll find ourselves a fucking basement. I'll find myself a fucking basement.
I like basements.
Of course you do.
Some vampires choose to stay in groups. Others choose to live alone. The important thing is that we'll help you through. There's a couple of things that you wouldn't expect come up when you're trying to completely sunproof something. You'll do it at night and you won't be able to see if you've done a good job, because there isn't a sun out. So
we got a
we'll lead
professional
you to-
here. I sort of like do the thumbs over the shoulder to fucking Braden. I was like,
I'm good at blocking out the sun. Have you seen my complexion? I looked like this before I was a vampire.
But actually, sweetie, you were probably just slightly uglier.
Mm.
wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty hot now.
The embrace tends to make people kindred slightly more attractive.
Tell that to my ex-wife. She'll love it.
She might.
I don't know how to.
I
take
want to
you
sleep
these
now,
days.
or whatever it's called when we turn off.
She'll lead all five of you. There is a kitchen, and then past that, there is something that probably used to be like, a locker or a storage room or whatever. And they've literally cemented over where walls or windows and doors used to be. So it is just like a closet.
Yeah, we walk in. I'm just like, cozy.
Well, it is actually pretty cozy. There are nice mats out. They're not like military cots. They do sort of a good example would be like sort of Japanese floor beds, right? Like they aren't they don't go through all the trouble of having like bed frames or whatever, but they are nicely made up. There are curtains around. There are lights. There's even like foot lockers. It very much feels exactly like what she said it was, which was like a halfway house for people who are like flee to the city at the last minute with like no preparation or plans and have that need somewhere to stay in the interim. And she'll leave the five of you there, and you may feel the urge to go to bed now as like a human, but you will lack the capacity to fall asleep any sooner than like exactly when it mystically makes you go to sleep. So like I imagine you each pick a bed, but there's actually going to be like an hour here where you're still awake.
Quiet reflection period.
Quiet reflection period. Does anybody talk about anything?
So we're out on these little sleeping mats.
There's enough room in here for like spaced out nicely. There are 6 beds, but you can see that they also have up against a wall like 6 more beds, and if you really needed to, you could fit like 12 people in here.
So it's quiet for a minute, and suddenly you hear, Maria,
Yes.
will you be my roommate?
Sure. That sounds
wait.
nice.
Like, you know, like we're not. I don't want to be alone. I don't understand this. Wait, you'll be my roommate?
Mm-hmm. I like lean over and on the mat to look over. Like,
Okay,
we got this.
that's sorted. I have plenty of money.
Hey guys.
Pretty good too, actually. Huh?
Huh?
Well, I just wanted to. When I was hiding, I like saw something. I just wanted to
What?
like. Well, I just.
What are you? You're scaring me now.
What did
No.
you see, Rodney?
So you know Amethyst and all of those guys,
Yeah.
and they
Sure.
made us to do the thing.
you
Well,
did, yeah.
after they made us do the thing, and then they dropped us off. This like monster appeared,
Monster?
and she told it.
What?
Yeah, like
What do you mean, monster?
Yeah, you want
like an alligator man.
A what?
He literally appeared too. He was like not there, and then he was there.
What
Like,
the hell are you talking about?
So
Alligator
okay,
man?
okay, look, I don't want to
do
get
you
wrapped up in
suffer
that.
from anything?
I don't want to get wrapped up in that part. Alligator Man told Amethyst in very specific detail how our encounter in the bar went. He knew everything that happened, and then Amethyst was really concerned and said that Maria was a Zamisi, and then they drove off really quickly. And also that Damien, you're a Lasombra, and they were also concerned about that.
Well, so
And
you're
then
saying
Alexis called you a Malkavian.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
Do you
that
still
guy's
hear the music?
yeah, it's weird that you guys don't hear that because it's totally playing in
We
here.
don't-
I don't know why you guys are playing tricks on me. It's playing in here too.
is
They
it-
should probably at least change the song.
Do
know?
you? Is it like you hear it with your ears, or is it?
So you're
your head?
saying you don't hear it?
I don't
Um,
hear
You
anything,
don't.
Laban.
I'm sorry.
So as a slight role playing guide, much like someone who has an insanity, you aren't actually capable of the self perspective of realizing that other people don't hear it.
Okay.
So like you will defend to the death that music is playing or that this song is happening. Like you aren't capable of knowing that it's just in your head.
So
Sure.
maybe as they're talking about this sort of stuff, I'm just like,
Yeah, when you're
This is
mad, you don't know
why-
you're mad.
this is why you
That's
don't
kind of the
touch.
definition of it.
This is why you don't touch fucking cocaine. That shit can be spliced with anything.
See, I knew you guys are messing with me. You definitely touch cocaine. By the way, does anyone have any?
No.
You sure? Did you check
you
all of
can-
your pockets?
You can get a cocaine high if you drink from somebody who has done cocaine.
How do
Like we
you
got
fucking
drunk.
Oh,
know
I know
this?
where to go. I know where to go. Let's go there now. What time is it?
All I'm saying is that they seem very concerned about us, even though they've let us off the hook for now.
Oh, and what did
So
they
what you're
what did they
saying
say about
is-
you then, Rodney?
There's something they're not telling us.
They didn't say anything about me. They couldn't. They were wondering where I went.
Did they say anything about me?
That you were dumb.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds about right.
They talked a lot about how you stood there after he hit you with a pool table,
This
and then got hit with a pool table again.
this
I'm
has
just
got to be
brave.
a race thing. Like, if they're calling this one dumb and they're calling us a malasombra, then that's a race thing. I'm not even Spanish. I don't understand how the fuck that works.
That does sound kind of Spanish. Like Rodney sort of like stops for a second. Like,
Yeah, it's just like, yeah,
It
that's
means shadow.
oh, he did that thing with the shadow.
That has something to do with it.
What
We
does
should try
Zamisi mean?
That's I don't know.
Is it like German for
We should try to find. So
can turn people into
Alexis
pretzels?
didn't know what I was, or what I could. When I said what I did, she didn't know what that meant. So
guys. I actually got a better question than all this stupid shit that we don't know. Who the fuck turned us into vampires?
it's also a very good question.
They were very concerned about that. Apparently, whoever did it must have been Sabat.
Maybe tomorrow we should try, or tomorrow night we should try to find someone that.
Alexis said we
Knows
have 2
more.
weeks here where we can stay, here. So
Well,
we can do
Honestly,
whatever
we
we
can-
want.
honestly
Yeah.
speaking, I think the best course of action might be to get out from underneath the thumb of people who act kind and people who give us freebies, because this is still LA. And I don't know about you blokes, and I'm sure you know, Lavin, more than anyone. This town will eat you up.
Alex and Murray are actually super kind.
I'm sure they are, but that'll last as long as it's going to take for us to be a burden. And
They were student protesters at UC Berkeley.
how
They
the
care
f-
very much
how
about the
the-
things they believe.
How do you know all this?
Oh, I'm sure they said it at some
Wait
point.
They
a
didn't
minute.
say it. I've
didn't
actually
say
been
any of
keeping
that.
notes, so
Rodney, wait, you gotta come clean, man. You're not. Are you a spy?
I'm not a spy.
He's a spy.
I'm not a spy.
He's totally. You're totally a
I'm
spy.
not- I'm
all
not a
this
spy.
stuff.
Us.
Yeah, how
What?
do you know this?
I swear they said something. Maybe you were just running the room. We were saying like, or maybe
No.
it was offhanded, or maybe it was a question that I
This
asked
is
when I was
4
alone with
against
them.
1, and now you seem really nervous.
Yeah, I'm really nervous because you're calling me a spy.
Well, you're definitely a spy.
Yeah, I'm not a spy. You're a spy.
I like the
Can I,
idea they're all
uh,
in our beds with blankets on, just having this conversation.
I like
You're
how we
totally
get-
fine.
I like how we get
You're
more
a
than
spy.
one pillow.
Throw a
Let's
pillow
play
at him.
Who's a Spy.
And you know, actually, Wreckage,
What boys do you like?
at that point, I'm gonna get out of the bed. I'm gonna walk over to Rodney. I'm gonna pick him up out of his bed.
What are you gonna stop? What? I didn't do anything.
Could I do another perception empathy to see if I detect anything about if he's like?
Yes.
Okay.
Perception empathy is the role for like detecting a lie.
Really? Okay.
Difficulty.
No, the same standard 6.
Okay.
Normal. Totally.
1.
He is not lying. He is emphatic that he is not a spy. He is also super emphatic that you guys must just not have heard that part. Like they said it about themselves clearly.
I like get up and like
Wow. Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm supposed to
Oh
be
my
the guy
God.
that interrogates people. What the
Damien,
fuck? Yeah.
Not only
You're
is
the
he-
only spy.
Yeah.
not only is he definitely telling the truth, but you're actually irritated at the other people for accusing him of not telling the truth.
I slam him up against the wall, and I look into his eyes, and I'm just like, I just look into his eyes. I don't say anything, and I'm just like, I just let him go, and I was like, tell us what else you know.
Well, so yeah, they were student protesters at UC Berkeley. They came down here, and they're just actually like really, really genuinely nice people who care about like how the system makes people suffer and like die needlessly. And when they became vampires, that turned into the vampiric system, not the really human system anymore. They were ghouls first. I don't know what that is. I thought it was rude. I thought it would be rude to ask.
Ghouls?
They were ghouls first, and then they were vampires. I don't know what a ghoul is.
I still don't understand how you know this.
Yeah.
I asked them. We must have had the conversation at some part when, we all moved back here slowly, and then I asked to go to the bathroom, and then I realized I didn't have to anymore. And
I say to
is
the
there
rest of the
still
group,
poop inside of us?
What are you talking about? Poop, you spy!
We can't poop anymore, but we didn't make sure to poop before we were turned into vampires.
Oh my god.
Let me
Go
tell you
ask
something about dead bodies,
Alexa
okay?
about that.
So when a person expires for the first time, they will evacuate their bowels. It happens naturally. Trust me on this.
Well,
You
I
don't
was
have
gonna
any
say-
poop left in you.
So that's why that
I
pit
wanna-
smelled worse than just death.
Yeah,
hop
probably
out.
because all those bodies pooped in there. Well, sorry,
So I'm gonna
evacuated
hop
their
out
bowels.
from underneath my covers, and I'm gonna get on top of Rodney now, and I'm gonna say, "I will carve that shit out of your body with my own 2 hands." If
Are you
don't
coming on to me?
start telling me what's going on.
I'm not into this.
I don't want you to be into it.
I don't. Why are you? Why would
I'm
I know
gonna
what's
pick
going on?
up. I'm gonna
Alright.
pick up Brayden. I'm just like, he's telling the truth, all right? I do this for a living. I looked into
I
the
don't
man's eyes, and he's speaking the truth.
I don't fucking trust him, Dave.
I mean, do you want to roll to see if you trust him?
Yeah. What was it? Perception. Empathy?
Perception, empathy.
He's telling the truth. I mean, he sincerely believes that he must have had a separate conversation where there was room, actually, genuinely, there was room that he could have. I don't know if he could have, that would pretty exhaustive conversation, but you guys haven't moved totally in a unit the entire night.
Maybe someone's gotten to him. I don't know. Something doesn't seem right. I don't.
What?
Okay,
Look,
let's-
you're just upset because you took a pool table twice and I didn't.
And
do
you
the
did
fight.
nothing.
Yeah, well, it's your fucking fault for standing there like an idiot.
Okay, this has been a really long night for everyone. Let's just get some rest.
I don't think we can until exactly whatever the
Well,
time.
then pretend it's quiet time.
Oh, I remember quiet time. Okay.
So Wreckage, I'm gonna do my thing, which is
You have a thing.
exhaustive notes.
You have an exhaustive notes thing now.
Yeah, that's what
All
I'm
right.
thinking. My thing is gonna be. I'm gonna keep like a
A
the
journal. Are you gonna take a urinal?
detective pad, like a fucking, what do they call them?
LA is a city that can eat you alive.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how true that was until tonight.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm going to, fulfill my role as the predetermined guy who fits into a LA story and be that guy. I'm gonna be noir.
Sure.
That's
Fine. You mean like an LA noir? This
Yeah.
stream is sponsored by Rockstar Gaming.
So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep notes. Like I'm basically, connecting the dots between like Zemesis and Lysambre.
Yeah, just like
you know.
right. Yeah, you've got a bunch of like Zemisi question mark.
Yeah, like post-it notes inside of post-it notes inside of a book inside of like with pencil drawings across everything. That sort of shit. And the thing that like for me that doesn't make any sense is like there's no motivation for turning us, right? There's also no motivation for
Well, no, let me if you're gonna take notes and you're gonna recount them to me, let me say things that to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
You heard you may not have processed it deeply at the time, but you can certainly recollect that one of the things that was said as you were being hauled out of that pit. I mean, like that this was a thing that Sabat do, and that the Anarchs interrupted them, and that everybody was worried that there must be more, but that McNeil showed up and said, as he showed up, our scouts have confirmed that everything is quiet. Nothing else has happened except for this. So everyone was worried that there was be more, but there weren't. But also that it is a thing that happens and that the Anarchs specifically interrupted it and drove the people away.
Okay.
So those are all things that you could have gleaned from the conversations that happened with you as you woke up in the first place. Just to get the specifics right. Like, you don't know the specific motive for siring you, but you also, like, it's not... just to clarify those things.
The other thing that I don't really understand is, like, there's no connection between victims, aka us.
Yeah, none of you are the same.
So that's the other thing.
Although,
so maybe
if you guys have the conversation,
yeah. So
at least, if you guys have the conversation, and as long as nobody is opposed to this,
mm-hmm.
Narratively, it was just that you were all at that bar. That whole pit of corpses was everybody who was at the bar that night.
So what was my reason for being at the bar? I mean,
that
aside from
would be for you to decide.
alcoholism.
Crippling alcoholism. I mean, you could have been there in a police capacity if you want.
Yeah,
but...
that's what I want to know. Is there a potential for me to be there? Like, if that's the case, then wouldn't that place be like investigated a little more thoroughly if a police officer, a detective, no doubt, went in there and disappeared?
I mean, one of the other things that they said is that they were going to take care of the place. Like, he put McNeil, when he showed up, put Salvador on cleanup duty, like making sure nobody asked any questions and getting rid of the evidence. So while that might be true, if you want to have been there in a police capacity,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you also could have been there just for crippling alcoholism.
I think it's a little column A, little column B, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe it was like, oh, we got to go talk to some people, and you're like, I know just the place where I can also get plastered, and your partner was like, fuck's sake. And maybe your partner is also dead in that pit, but not waking up,
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Is there any way that I could confirm or deny that was the case by thinking back?
Well, yes, but also it's just your decision as a character or as a player who is building his character, your backstory up until the moment of the game.
Well, the biggest
up to
question
you.
mark about this game is whether or not like there's a reason for us being sired in the first place, right? So,
well, it's who your sires were and why.
okay.
And what they're doing, because as other people, as I said, that we easily could have been gleaned while you were waking up, and also will become clear if you keep asking questions. So there's no reason to hide this from you. The Sabat do shovelhead pits when they invade a city. They do a lot of them, and then they just send fodder at people. And so one of the things that's weird is that they only did one. Like, so it is weird. Like, why did this happen?
All right, so
Um,
maybe just as like everyone's quieting down, no one said anything for a while, and it's like, all right, humor me. Why were you at the bar? We'll go around in order.
Well, I'm at bars pretty much every night. I was just there with my friends. Why were you there?
Why were they in the pit? Did you see them?
I didn't see anything except death. God, I hope. Were they in the pit? Oh, God.
It's going to be a lot easier for you to explain your disappearance if all of your friends disappeared at the same time.
That doesn't make this. Shut up.
I'm sorry.
What about you, Sawbones?
That me?
That's a doctor, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Die Party! How many nicknames can we come up for characters? Keyhole, Blue, Sawbones.
Blue.
I'm really proud of Keyhole.
I was on a date.
A date. Was he in the pit as well, or she? I don't know which way you swing.
She wasn't.
Of course, it's LA. Why am I surprised?
She would have had to have not yet shown up for the date to not be.
No,
in
yeah,
the pit.
exactly. That's what I'm
okay.
insinuating.
All right, good. Just clarifying that everybody who was in, nobody got away.
That's what that's what I'm insinuating. Yes. That's
All
a,
right.
yeah.
Mm.
And then I guess I was like, what about you, Four Eyes? Do you wear glasses actually? It's your
He
character?
did,
Well,
but
yeah.
now he popped the lenses out because he doesn't need glasses anymore. He gets perfect vision because he's a vampire.
I was just there having a drink after.
See,
a
you're the most
long
suspicious one
day
of the
at
lot of
work.
us going outside like that, so I don't
But-
actually believe a word that you're saying.
Well, I mean, I do need to leave my house. I mean, I can't get booze delivered to my door.
You actually could, but that's besides the point. Why were you actually there? Why that bar? It doesn't seem like the type of place
The
that'd be
drink.
friendly. Hmm.
Why else would I go to a bar? I obviously wasn't there to meet ladies.
You got a point.
It's a very cosmopolitan bar, or it was, I guess, he says. So like lots of different types of people went there for drinking.
Oh yeah, what about you, Rodney? Why were you there? Don't say drinking.
I like the smell of girls.
That's fucking gross.
That
I
was
mean,
amazing.
We're gonna call you Lassie from now on.
Can't you like smell girls on your own time, like away from other people?
No.
I've got a website you might like.
I am a boy. I can't smell girls on my own.
All right. And if everyone must know, the reason why I was at the bar was because I was investigating the Crips, and it was a Crip bar, so I'm surprised.
And also because you were thirsty.
I just ignore that. I just keep talking. So it seems like we're just happenstance victims of a mass murder, which for the most part should be relatively difficult for them to clean up. So I'm suggesting tomorrow night we go back to the scene of the crime, see what we can dig up.
Are you kidding me? All they had to do was set the place on fire.
You've
Boom.
never done forensics in your life, and all you're saying is that all they had to do was set it on fire.
You know, you can hide a lot of evidence by setting it on fire. Sure, maybe they dumped some gasoline on it first.
I tell you what, next
there was a
time that
bar
you commit a
fire.
mass murder, why don't you just set it on fire and see what happens?
I mean, it's also like when they set a place on fire, it also matters how hard the police actually try.
I
Well,
mean,
there's
it's not a
some
bad
good
idea
souls
to
in
go
there.
back, honestly, right? I mean, I'm gonna side with the gumshoe on this one.
I mean,
How old are you again?
Yeah. I was 5. It's not 1943.
All right, Jules Verne.
Shit.
This entire game's just gonna be like, what are our characters' names again?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm Keyhole.
Yeah.
no, or Sawbones, maybe.
Okay.
What's a nickname for a cokehead?
Tweaker.
like
Tweaky.
powdered
Hey,
sugar.
Tweak. How's it going, Tweak? All right, we got nicknames for everybody.
Yeah.
Blue, Four Eyes, Keyhole, or Sawbones, and Tweak. Well, Rodney needs a name. Lassie? What the fuck did that mean?
He
Does he like
sniffs
sniff
girls.
Lassie
Like a
likes to
dog.
sniff girls? I
Like
mean,
a
I get that.
dog.
Okay, well, whatever.
You call
Maybe
him-
we work on Rodney's nickname.
Bloodhound.
Holy shit! Did you see Sheep's suggestion for a
Snowplow.
nickname? That's fucking fantastic.
Snowplow. Oh, wow.
You just guys just start calling me Snow for short.
That
Oh my
nickname sounds
God.
like it comes from experience, Sheepdog.
That's amazing.
There is
Um,
that. Yeah, there is that new show about like the origin of crack called Snowfall.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
called. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you guys sort of have that conversation, and then you're in the middle of it, really, when all of a sudden you all just switch off, like, because day happens, and just like that.
Man.
You guys have survived your first night of vampirism. Why don't we go to another break? So, just as you shut off, you turn back on. You're
Actually, I
Aware.
turned back on an hour earlier. I have early
Ah.
riser.
that's right. You got
Oh,
early
yeah.
riser. So we'll do that then. Damien.
Is it
you-
actually like instantaneous though? Sorry, it's like boom.
Yeah.
And it's
There's
like,
there's
okay.
no like waking up and being groggy. There's none
no
of
like
that. You're
blood
just-
dreams or anything like that.
Like I won't complicate it right now, but there can be. But in actuality, you just turn off and on for now.
Mhm.
Okay.
There are always extenuating circumstances with Vampire the Masquerade, but as a general rule, you just turn off and turn back on. And Damien, you happen to do it an hour earlier, so everybody else is literally a corpse in their bed, completely motionless, obviously not breathing or anything.
Yeah, so I
Um,
want to do some stuff. Like I'm going to check some pulses. I'm going to like make some notes basically
pulse.
about like the state people
Okay,
are in,
first of all,
basically. Like
You're awake first, though.
yeah.
Like, you have to deal with that mystery. You probably nudge some people.
Yeah, and just,
Um,
like, yeah, like maybe like it's a like there's a montage of me just like trying to wake people, but then I I walk outside of the room that we're in. What's it like outside?
So the lauder connects into the kitchen, which then connects into the space.
Mm-hmm.
And as you wake an hour early, the sun is still up. Which means you're gonna have to make a fear check.
Yeah, so
You're gonna
this
have to
is
make
sort
a
of what I wanted to
big
experience.
fear check. So let me I have to
It's like a courage thing, right?
I didn't expect that this would happen, so I need to go look up specifically the they've got such a weird name for it. There's like a German
What's it called?
it's like Rorschach. I don't even know how to spell it.
That sounds like the ink blot test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of. It means when a vampire makes a fear
Rorschach?
check for. Yeah, I don't even know how to spell it.
ROTSHREK. Thank you, chat.
Thank you. Yes, Rorschach is similar to frenzy, and then there's a compulsion that is difficult to control. This one is specifically. So, this is a difficulty. Obscured is.
If you want to know the actual spelling, it's this. It's fucking weird.
Right, it's some sort of German word, obviously.
Yeah, it's like Rot Shrek with a little O with a like boop, boop, boop thing on it. Yeah.
Umlaut.
Umlaut. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Doop.
Right. So this is obscured sunlight because you're coming out and the front room is still heavily darkened, but it's not perfectly sunproof. So like what you're seeing isn't a direct beam of sunlight even. It's it's like a beam of sunlight hitting the floor in the front house and that light reflecting into the kitchen, so it's just luminescence from the sun.
Wow. So it's not even like, I thought it'd be like, you know, one of those things where you like put your hand in sunlight and then like the part that's hit by the sun like burns or whatever, but it's like,
no, you are getting just luminescence from a beam of sunlight, not even seeing the beam of sunlight. And you are going to make a difficulty 7 Rorschach frenzy check.
is that like courage? Like what is that?
I am looking up the actual mechanical. Please hold.
299.
Yeah. Thank you.
Requires a courage roll.
Right. So courage roll difficulty 7.
So I just roll my dots in courage at difficulty 7.
Yep. Wait. Relative a vampire seeking to avoid it requires a courage roll. As with frenzy, 5 successes must be accumulated to ignore the beast completely. This is, don't even worry about that. That's extended rolling. We'll just make one test here.
What's the difficulty?
Like the idea here is that in order for you to, which I assume you're not going to attempt to do, in order for you to stay in this room, you have to make 5 successes to ignore the sunlight.
Well,
but really all we're checking is whether or not you're going to panic. Like either way, I assume you're going to be like, that's not, I don't want to, you're going to go back into the room.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's just a courage check, just a courage roll. So however many dice you have in courage, you roll at difficulty 7 instead of 6.
1 success.
All right, so you feel the thing that you have briefly touched on in the preceding night, the beast, well up inside you for a moment in overwhelming fear of just the luminescence coming into the kitchen.
What's the personification of the beast? Like, is there something
there isn't a personification?
Like, does it feel like what does it feel like?
It feels like a part of your psyche. Like it doesn't feel like it isn't like Sin Eaters where you have a Geist. That's not what it's like. Not at all.
Is it more like how I was trying to role play Sydney in Fulcrum with that thing?
No, not even close to that. No, it does not have a consciousness. It's not a separate thing. It is your id now. Like, you know how there's an ego and a super ego and an id and all of that in psychology? Sure. Like, it is now just your id. So a fundamental part of your psyche.
It's like flight or fight, right?
Right, exactly. You experience that, except for there is no fight option. There's just, another good example would be like if you open the door and suddenly there was like a bottomless pit there. Like you would be like, oh shit, fuck, you would back up, right? Like that would be what you would feel. Only, you know, amplify that. It's mystical, it's supernatural, it's more powerful than anything you've ever felt. You feel almost like you're going to lose control, that like you're going to go into a panic, and you probably maybe from your character, I don't assume that your character had an anxiety problem in his life, so it's probably a new experience to have the sensation of I could lose control here. I could absolutely lose control and just panic and scream and wail.
I think the closest that this might have been like coming close to being like found out in an undercover situation. Like that's probably like the
that
closest.
kind of anxiety. So, but you have it under control for this exact moment.
Yeah. So
now, if you choose to stay in this room for whatever reason, we'll have to roll again and again and again. But for now, like you don't lose your mind and you can just turn around and walk back into the darkened room.
Is it just because I'm looking at it, or do I feel like sunlight?
Like if you turn around, you immediately feel calmer, but you still feel uneasy.
All right. Okay.
And that is like mechanically, this actually does care about those things. Like not looking at something is easier than looking at something, but you will actually still feel fear if you hear fire behind you, if you smell fire behind you, you know, if you feel the heat off of the sun luminescence, if you see it but then turn around and know that it's there, you still are afraid of it. Like it's very psychological. It's 100% psychological, as a matter of fact. It's yeah.
So what type of door is this?
It is a door. It
Wood,
is
metal, like what?
It is metal.
Like is it like a refrigerator sort of door? Like what?
It's a normal human door that humans are meant to walk through. But it has been the edges have all been coated in foam, so that it so it expands or contracts to fill the gap in between the door frame. You know, sort of like a squishy, like that memory foam, but you know, that sort of thing.
Which way does it open?
It opens out into the kitchen.
Okay. Do we have is there like a handle in here?
Yeah, there's handles on both sides.
Okay, I do the following thing. I take off my belt, and
Yeah.
I like strap the door shut to the wall if I can.
Like you go back in and close it.
Yeah, I'm inside the room.
Okay.
Like
And
wherever.
you just want to like
I just want to secure it, you know.
to the sunlight.
No,
Against the sunlight.
I'm in the room with other people. I just want to make
you're
sure
in the room with all the corpses.
Yeah,
right?
I just want to make sure that no one else wakes up and opens the fucking door. So I'm going.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you
Yeah.
tie it shut.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, no, you can. There's like a chair. You can put up a chair and
Yeah,
like,
but it opens the other way, so like that doesn't
yeah,
work.
but nobody would just. Well, also you're in here, so like no one's gonna sneak past you. Like all you need to do is put something. There isn't really a way to tie it shut, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
There not like a conveniently placed
I'm
pipe.
gonna put something in front of the door, whatever that might be. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's even a spare like mat that you can put in front of the door, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that probably occupies your mind for a period of time.
I just keep writing in the book that I have. I'm just gonna keep writing, trying to piece.
It's like
together some stuff.
sunlight. No.
No. It's more like it helps me put things together, right? So detectives have particular ways of putting information together, and like mine is just writing everything down. Like I can't do it on a computer, but I have to do it on paper. So that's what I'm gonna say I do. So that's what I do. So.
All right. Everyone else comes back into consciousness.
Like, is it like instantaneous? Everyone just sort of just like sits up at the same time. Like, how does that?
Does
work?
everybody currently have Humanity 6?
Yes.
Yes.
You all wake up at literally the exact same time.
I almost like I'm writing and I just sort of like, ugh, fucking.
Are we still dead?
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yes.
Oh,
I was hoping it was a dream.
no, it's not a dream.
Unfortunately
Also,
not.
why are you still here, spy?
That's not a nice thing to say to me.
Rodney's. I don't think he's a spy.
But and Andy didn't help us. I don't know
Okay,
about you.
like you're. I helped you by giving you like I spied on. Okay, I didn't. I mean, I spied on the other people.
You just said you're a spy. I knew it.
I knew it. I knew there was something wrong.
And not only that, but you're a traitorous one.
No, I was eavesdropping on them about us, for us, Because we're friends now.
So
We're
we
all
are
in
friends
this
now. It
together.
doesn't really work like that. It's not
I
like
think it
declaring.
does. I think
Oh.
in this situation, it does work like that.
We have to take what we can get.
It's a
I
very
guess so.
enthusiastic. I also am excited to be your friend.
Anyway,
No, I'm not-
I feel kind of hungry.
All right, I think
some
we
blood
can
would be good.
probably get a couple more cups now that it's been another day. And as you wander out,
Yeah, I sort
Oh.
of like when everyone starts waking up, I like everyone starts moving towards the door. I'm just like, wait, like I like move everything out of the way of the door. Like it's clear that I piled shit up in front of the door. Like it wasn't there when you fell asleep, right? So
Is everything okay, Damien?
I'm just sort of like leaning on the door. I'm just like, yep, everything will be fine. Just
he like peeks.
yeah, I like open the door slightly. I like, put my hand back. I'm just like, wait. Like open the door. I just sort of peek my head out. I'm just like, oh. I close the door again. I was like, thank fucking Christ.
When did you do that?
Well, I don't know.
The
I
stuff
woke up before everyone else, and I went outside, and the sun
We
was
all
up.
woke up at the same time. You went outside?
The sun was still up when I woke up, and you don't ever want to see the sun again. Trust me, that shit.
Okay.
I've been in a lot of situations, and
What did it feel
I ain't
like?
never come close to like losing my stomach like I did when I saw the sun. I only saw a little sliver of it too.
So stay away from the sun. Got it.
No, it's not even that. Like something. I just sort of open the door and just walk out.
So you walk out, and Alexis and Murray have both come from upstairs. They have like a apartment loft over the taste, as owners will often do for a restaurant. And they're wearing the same clothes, and it's fine actually because vampires' bodies don't produce oil or sweat because they're dead.
Hey.
So, like, if you get your clothes dirty doing a thing, you need to change them. But, like, it's pretty clear that vampires just pass out in their clothes and then get up again and, why waste time? You only have so many hours in the night, right? So they get up and like, well, Alexis is like, you're all up. How did you, how was
Don't
your
say
first...
sleep. Don't fucking say sleep because it's
Right. Yeah. Let me get you a cup.
So
And,
can you put
that
something
would be
in
good.
it like caffeine? Like this shit is not good.
Yes, I can
Sorry,
get
like-
you a cup with caffeine in it. So she presents to the group 4 normal cups, and then she pours a special cup for Damien, who asked for it, and she explains as she pours. This is a little hard to do because basically we have to get someone really hopped up on caffeine and then draw their blood in order to get any sort of contact high afterwards.
Did you just have someone who like lets you do that?
Well, we get our supply from the blood bank, and as
Oh, that's
might
nice.
not be any surprise to you, that's something that vampires are particularly enthusiastic in controlling in some way or another. So
Did I have it? Is there any reports in my mind that come up about like missing blood or anything weird like that?
no, because what she's actually implying is that the entire blood donation system is owned by vampires.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
There's no missing inventory because they just don't report the inventory
So
that gets
like,
sent off to
I like
vampires.
the idea that there are humans out there that just die because it's just like we have a blood shortage, and it's just like
Well,
it's
yeah, you know how
literally
they're
just like
always saying there's a blood shortage.
Yeah.
They're always
Yeah.
saying there's a blood shortage. It's because there can never be enough blood in the system because the vampires want as much of it as they can get.
yeah.
Right.
So if they own the system, they will just always say that there's a blood shortage. Period. Like we need all the volunteers that we can get.
Yeah.
So I
That makes
look
sense.
at her and I'm just like, so what about that bullshit about like you can't give blood if you have a tattoo or whatever in the last 6 months?
Well, I mean, that's to protect us as much as it is to protect people. I mean, obviously, as Maria knows, there are still blood transfusions, but a large portion of actually donated blood is in some way or another consumed by kindred, who control the system or squirreled away, for a rainy day. There are hoarders.
So I'm gonna drink this cup of coffee, right? I drink it.
Right. So first of all, it's been warmed up.
Oh.
Second of all,
Mm.
it does give you the sensation of being caffeinated. Third of all, you don't gain a blood point from it.
Yeah, I sort of drink it. I'm just like, like maybe everyone else in the room just sort of like sees like an actual physical change in like my demeanor when I drink this coffee or something along those.
Alexis is like literally pouring your cup of coffee, your cup of blood, Maria, and like you hear her whisper, "Hopefully that makes him less of a dick." I
plan it on making me less of a dick, so we'll see how we go.
So we have all sorts of specialty blends that we've developed over. They're very rare though, as you can understand. You need a willing volunteer to create the blood that you need in the first place. And
We noticed that last night. We drank from some drunk people and felt drunk afterwards.
They're terrible drunks.
The good news is that
It was only for like 10 minutes. It was fine.
The good news is that any intoxication that you get from blood can be you can choose to ignore it. It's a different story if you get a disease from blood. So that's why we're very, very careful with blood transfusion as a system, to protect us and to protect them.
So
I want to ask Alexis. That's her name, right?
Yeah.
Alexis, how dangerous do you think it would be if we went back to the pit that we crawled out of?
Does that really
She sort
matter?
of gets
We're gonna
a
go
furrowed
back
look on her
anyway.
face, and she's like, I don't think it would be a dangerous place right now, but I do think the optics of that are not great.
What do you mean? Is someone watching us?
Someone will be watching that place to make sure that it stays, well, they'll be watching it for a little while, until we make sure that the mortals don't, get they once the heat dies down, so to speak, they'll be watching it until then to make sure that there aren't any superfluous investigations by mortals.
So I noisily put down my cup that had the blood in it after drinking it, and I stand up and I'm just like, good. I want them to see that we're looking into it. As far as I can tell, the when they come to us and tell us
you
who
don't.
did it.
You don't. I mean, I'm sorry, sweetie, but like you said, they made you fight because they didn't trust you, and going back there it's suspicious.
Well, you don't know what a La Sombra is. You don't know what a Zamisi is.
I know what a La Sombra and a Zamisi are.
Oh yeah, then what are they?
You never asked. They're clans.
Well, like a gang.
No. So I can't believe we didn't discuss this last night. I'm so sorry. It was just so last minute and unexpected. I've never sired anybody. I've never had to give any of these sort of conversations.
You don't look like you've given birth.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. But siring is different, and you know it.
Even when you compliment someone, it's skeezy as fuck.
I like look over at Braden. I like look over at Braden. I just give him a wink and a nod, and was like, "That's how you do it, boy."
Oh, how do I even begin? Kindred.
They're like different kinds. Of
They're
vampires?
different
Of kindred?
curses. They're different curses.
That's one way of putting it.
Curses.
No, that's what they are. Vampirism is a curse. Different people will disagree about the genesis of that, and that's actually part of the disagreement between the Sabbat and the Camarilla, but I won't get into that. There are 12 clans, and they are the 12 different ways in which vampirism manifests. And based on your clan determines your individual weaknesses and your individual strengths when it comes to vampirism. La Sombra and Zamisi are both Sabbat clans. That's why, well, I suppose you might actually be one or the other of those if you were shovelheads.
What about what you called me,
Malkavian.
that?
Malkavians are fine, sweetie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
But it's going to be hard to determine exactly. Well, at least for me, you could probably see somebody who would be more knowledgeable about this.
Is there like a book or something?
There isn't.
Is there someone you could point us to get more information on this?
Well, I have to rack my brain. See, the thing I could describe what I know about the clans, but that's not really what concerns me. What concerns me is that I actually wouldn't know how to. I don't know. I don't know how to determine a caitiff's clan. I don't know if there's a way to figure out
All right.
beyond
So
a certain thing what somebody is.
we've been told that I'm a La Sombra, Spanish man, apparently. This one, and I point to Maria, Zamisi, apparently. I don't know what that is. Point to
They must know what. They must have a reason to know.
I point to
know
Lavin,
that.
and I'm just like, she's a Malkavian. And I point to Braden, I'm like, and this one's a pool table.
I know there
Yeah,
are.
do I really? I don't really know what I am yet, do I?
You
Rick?
never
No,
used
you don't
any
have
of your stuff.
You didn't even use your special power.
Yeah.
So, well, it was probably when they made you fight. I know that. I don't know the details, but I know that La Sombra and Zamisi and many clans have specific powers that only their clan can have. So if you demonstrated that power, that would definitively show that you're that clan. Unfortunately, most of the clans don't have special powers. So the odds are that, and she's sort of looking at Rodney and Braden here, the odds are that we won't really be able to figure out what you are. At least I don't know of any way. Personally, I mean, I'm not super knowledgeable. I've never had to deal with fledglings. I
The
apologize.
Billets clan.
Is there...
We believe in 8 divine figures. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 4.
6 holes for every ball.
In order of numbers.
Okay, well, we get a joke. Yes, yeah, you were asking a question.
I guess, do you know of any vampires that have been around a while that might have seen things of what we might be?
Salvador and McNeil will have experienced fighting pretty much every vampiric clan, especially Sabbat.
That
What?
was...
The Scottish one.
Right. He
Look,
seemed very important.
Is this even going to help us to know? I think we need to focus
Oh,
on
McNeil
practical
is
things.
well, McNeil is very important, but in a weird sort of way. McNeil is he's an Anarch all the way from way back when the British were oppressing the Scottish. He's very old.
No one's that old. Everyone dies.
Not kindred, sweetie. There are kindred who are 2,000, 3,000 years old.
So as long as we don't get killed, we don't die.
Yes. Although, as you get older, you might fall into long periods of, torpor is what we call what you did when you slept during the day.
Let me ask you this: is Dracula a thing, or is that just like some made-up bullshit?
Vlad the Impaler was a vampire.
And that's Dracula.
Yeah, I don't think he calls
Yes.
himself Dracula. I don't think he was ever actually Dracula.
See, I saw a movie once where he was like, couldn't walk into people's houses and turn into bats and shit. We can't do that, I assume, right?
Oh no, there are vampires who can turn into bats.
Fucking hell.
That's one of the powers of the gangrel. I think they can turn into bats. She says this in a way that's like, I think they can turn into bats. In the same way that you would be like, I think, like, what's his face knows how to fix a computer. Like, I think he must know how to fix a computer, right? So she says that. She says, oh, yeah, right. I was telling the story of McNeil. Well, anyway, he's all the way from back then, and he believes in pure anarchy, which is the sort of the problem because he was a quintessential figure in securing Los Angeles for the Anarchs. And if he wasn't a pure anarchist himself, he'd probably be in charge. And we could probably use it, if I'm honest. Instead, he absolutely refuses to officially take charge. Although when he says something, people do it. It's a very... Having a bunch of pure anarchists control a place is very awkward.
He's unofficially in charge then.
Unofficially. It's more like his word carries so much respect and weight that people do it anyway. Not
People
because
listen.
Not because there's any backlash if you don't, or any repercussions, or it's just people do because McNeil is so experienced.
I guess more importantly, he's a little too higher up for us to go ask him a bunch of questions.
Well, like I said, he doesn't actually run anything. So theoretically...
Is he the type of person that would let us just ask him a bunch of questions about what we are?
You'll have to ask Salvador. Salvador is the other very respected and very powerful vampire who helped take Los Angeles. Some said he did more than McNeil. He's actually... She actually sort of blushes. No, she doesn't blush, but she does all of the motions of blushing.
She can't blush.
She can't actually blush. Yeah. She does all the motions of blushing when she says, and she actually grabs her husband Murray's hand, in that sort of claspy sort of way, when she says, Salvador is actually our sire.
You mean like your daddy?
The one who turned us into kindred. You are caitiff because you don't know who your sire is. You don't know who your clan is.
Look, this is all well and good, but we apparently need to find a place to live.
Sweetie, you have plenty of time. Maybe if these questions are really weighing on the minds of your compatriots, you should talk to Salvador, and maybe he can...
If out of the blue question, so I know we're not really supposed to go back to our old lives, but if we were to go back to our places we used to live, would that be bad for the vampires? What exactly is keeping us from doing anything like that?
How do you think how do you think human society would respond in general to discovering that
No, like
the entire
if I wanted to go back to my apartment.
right, but I assume there's someone you know or care about that if you maintained the trappings of your old life, you would interact with them. And ultimately, especially for fledglings, keeping your new condition hidden is very difficult.
Yeah, Maria, if you think about it, if you can never be out during the day and you can't go out to lunch or dinner with your friends, how are you going to rejoin your old life?
There are some vampires who manage it for a
I have 2
time.
shotgun holes in one of my favorite shirts. I didn't need a change of clothes.
Oh, well, that's fine. Go back and get your stuff. You know, like I said, you've got time. Make arrangements to detach yourselves from your old lives. You know, there's a place to store your things here, or you could wait until you guys find your own place or places.
My dad pretty much already thinks I'm dead, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't be. He's kind of a jerk.
Well,
So do do we want to talk to this guy, or do we want to go back to the pit? Do we want to?
Well, I
what do
think we should
what do
go
we
get
do?
some answers. Let's try to talk to Salvador. Alexis, do you know how we can?
well, um, I can contact him myself and ask him, if it would be convenient. Salvador does actually run things, not the whole city. It's pretty complicated, but sort of think of LA like a nation instead of a city, and then there are a bunch of tiny states. Uh, and he runs one. Uh, and that's sort of the political situation of Southern California right now for vampires. Is that in general making sense?
I think
Enough.
so.
So Salvador is a little busier than McNeil, but also I can contact him and actually speak with him. So I'll do that now, and you just enjoy your evening, enjoy your drink. Uh, so Alexis will like whisper something to Murray and like peck on the cheek, and then she goes upstairs.
Do they stop us from getting more blood, or can we have a little more?
They will serve you 2 blood points today, but
Okay.
then Murray's like, I know you guys were in a fight, but actually Murray will be the one to say you can do your own hunting.
Fair.
But
Well,
I have to.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I do have to make you aware of 2 rules. There's no hunting allowed within a 4-block radius of this building. That is a universally agreed upon rule for the Anarchs of LA. So you're gonna have to go ways if you wanna hunt, but probably won't come up. But you also can't hunt at Disneyland.
What?
Excuse me.
What?
Disneyland is off limits.
Why? That would be perfect. What? Is this a joke?
What? That's
Because it's the
fucking gross.
happiest place on earth.
No, Disneyland is our Elysium.
What?
It again, it's one of those old carryover words. It's where we have our diplomatic meetings. It's neutral territory between all parties.
Huh.
so we don't draw attention to it by having hunting there.
And then you
Um,
what? Get on a roller coaster together?
I mean, not a roller coaster.
Teacups.
Teacups, actually, yeah, sometimes. He actually says that like listfully. But also, I can go get Salvador has, if he comes around, maybe he can bring something like this. Like Alexis said, there's a bunch of competing groups, and if you hunt on their territory, they get pissed. So you want to avoid that as well. But the territory is amorphous and changes almost day to day, so we can get you a generalization like don't hunt in Hollywood Hills, for example. Don't hunt in, Orange County, things like that.
Fuck it.
Up until-
We could just get
Hunting
our
at
own
all,
land.
or making like a big dent in their turf.
Well, that's sort of the thing is like nobody would actually care about a single bite except everybody is posturing, and it's like, a lion with his territory or whatever. You can't take a single bite because that's some sort of implicit infringement on their authority. When you control territory, part of proving that it's your territory is your ability to exert that sort of sphere of influence to make sure people aren't hunting in your territory unlicensed almost.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's why the need for a place like this exists, because a vampire coming in from New York out of the blue, no plans, has no idea where it's safe to hunt, no idea where it's safe to set up haven. He needs to be able to eat a little bit and sleep a little bit. He needs some breathing room. And if you guys really are so much more hungry, you will, we only have so much.
Wreckage. I'm gonna spend 4 of my blood just to heal all the way.
Yep.
That'll leave me.
I
with
trust
6.
you to keep track of the points that you have.
Okay.
But you have to let me know anytime that you drop below 4.
Okay, no, I'm good.
I need some blood, so if we could go hunting, like.
Yeah, I'm good for hunting too. Hunting and then Salvador.
Or Salvador and then hunting is probably the better order of operations.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at 5, so I'm okay. Like I'm not like frenzying or anything.
I mean, ideally, you guys would always be at whatever your max pool is, which, by the way, is determined by your generation.
14.
But that seems like it's super hard, because you only get 2 from feeding. So we would have to feed like 5 times.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot, you all are actually 1 smaller than what you have listed because you have to spend a blood to wake up in the morning.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I'm at 4 then.
I'm at 5.
Yeah. All right. That's that is something that I just recalled. Thank you.
So I guess I am kind of frenzy.
No, 4 is fine. I mean, it's not fine, but I mean, some vampires only have like a maximum pool of like 7 or something. Like it's,
So our max pool is 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, as 9th generation vampires, which you don't even know that you are.
Right. We don't even
And-
know what that means yet.
Yeah.
Actually, no one's even mentioned it. So no one's mentioned maximum blood amount or blood
Totally.
return or generation or any of that. So you don't even have a hint.
Yeah.
Just to keep track of mechanics.
Yeah.
So Alexis comes downstairs. And she has a slightly unhappy look on her face. I know you're all feeling a little cooped up. But Salvador can't come tonight. And he strongly recommends that you not draw any attention to yourselves as much as possible over the next couple of days. Apparently, not everybody super agrees with McNeil when he said that everybody is welcome in LA, no matter who or what they are. Just be careful. We can't rule your life and we can't tell you what to do and we won't keep you here, but
Right. I'm pretty hungry and I don't want to take all of your supply. So,
well, that is a bit of a pickle. I'm gonna be right back. And she goes upstairs again.
I mean, I think we should just go hunting, right? We can go hunting. That felt good.
Yeah,
Let's just
we
go
did.
back to that club we were at before.
That club belongs to Amethyst.
The very first one we went to?
Yeah.
she seemed willing to help us last night. I don't know how far her hospitality will go.
Well, I mean, we're not going to know who owns what until we...
Murray does like
Screw
grabs
something up.
the frames of his glasses and then peeks over them and says, "Was she willing to help you last night?" That doesn't sound like Amethyst.
Enough that she didn't kill us.
Honestly,
sort of
she
puts his
seemed like a
glass-
bit of a princess. I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw the bitch. Then again, I could probably throw her pretty far these days, so that statement doesn't really work anymore. But you get what I mean.
Right. Murray sort of like absent-mindedly popped open like a little leather-bound book, and he's reading while he's talking with you guys, you know, sort of casually.
What you got there, Maury?
Book of poetry.
Like some sort of vampire spell book?
No, it's poetry.
Care to read any to us?
No, I'm not the performing type. He says as he turns the page.
Does he like lick your finger?
No, because he doesn't have any saliva.
But he still does it to make a point. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean, I
just
I
the
think
sound of a dry finger on a dry tongue.
It's like a cat licking
like a
a
cat
fucking.
tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, how are we going to know who owns what territory unless we go out there and try to hunt?
That's
Yeah,
like
do you have like a territory map?
I think Alexis is gonna go get whatever information we currently have.
You got a phone there, Murray?
Yeah, we do.
You mind if I borrow it?
I mean, kinda. Like, you're gonna have to give me an idea of what you're gonna call.
Really? You want to know who I'm going to call?
Yeah, actually, this sort of shit matters when you're a vampire.
Honestly, if you must know, I want someone to clear up my desk at work, and I'm going to go pick up all my shit.
That's fair. Yeah, no problem. It's upstairs. Wait for Alexis to get down here and talk to her, and then she can, you know, bring you up to it. And Alexis comes back. And she has like a she has one of those old now, but in the game setting wouldn't be all that out of place. There used to be like little notebooks that were designed to like clip next to a phone. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and like you would literally for taking notes while you're on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she has that, and she's like flipping through it. And so I'm trying to find somewhere that I like know for sure would be okay for you to get a bite to eat. And some of the lines and boundaries are very dubious right now. Okay, so this will actually be this will be a great test, actually, to see if anybody here is a Ventru, though I doubt it. Um, there's a hobo camp, and
Transients? You want us to feed on transients?
yeah. And if none of you are incapable of doing it, then none of you are Ventru.
You mentioned something about blood being pure and STDs. In my experience, those transients generally are filled with them.
She sort of does like you will be surprised at your ability to tell a healthy person from an unhealthy one now that it's somewhat part of being a predator, I think. I always get a sense of whether or not, if as long as you're careful and use some common sense, it shouldn't be too risky. And also, Maria, you said you were a doctor. You'll have a even better sense. You probably know, in general, signs and symptoms that somebody has a blood disease.
Mhm.
Generally, you got to look at their dick. But
Well, sweetie, just a reminder, it's not STDs that you're worried about. It's blood-borne diseases specifically.
Right. There's symptoms we can try to watch for.
You're actually immune to STDs now. You can fuck whoever you want.
I wouldn't even be able to get my penis hard, to be honest with you.
Actually, you can. If you focus and spend a little bit of your vitae, although I don't recommend doing it now since you guys are so slim. But if you spend your vitae, you can briefly turn some of the systems in your body back on, like nerve endings in your dick.
Wait.
And
Are you saying that I could smoke again?
no, the only way to smoke is well, the only way to get nicotine is through having somebody else who smoked.
What about like a nicotine patch? Can I use that? Is that going to work?
No.
Your skin would have to function.
It's actually the brain that is the problem. Like, none of the brain chemistry still happens now that you're dead. But you are allowed to pump blood into your penis, like,
I'll keep that in mind next time I need to fuck someone.
or turn on your nerve endings. It's very limited. It's very limited, but it's very helpful. She says, sort of like stealing a glance to Murray. Quick shifty eyes.
Gross. All right, can I use your phone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Please come with me. And she sort of like escorts you upstairs. And upstairs is also
Devoid of windows and stuff like that?
yeah, but it's like a little more homey about it. Like you can't
Knitted
like from the
futon covers, I'm imagining.
well, it's like rather than just like a smear of cement over where a window used to be, you actually can't tell where the windows used to be. There's just like
Wallpaper over cement sort of
yeah,
stuff?
like and it's all nicely decorated and like it's very homey, and as they used to have, there's like a little mini desk up against a wall that's specifically for the phone, and there's like even a little chair there, and she like escorts you, and she's like sort of pats on the chair and is like, "Are you gonna need any privacy, dearie?"
Yes, that would be amazing. Thank you.
All right.
Also, I appreciate your hospitality. I know I've been a bit of a grumpy cunt, but
don't mention
I
it.
have my vices. Let's just say that. And
You're
it's
going
been
through a
very
rough
hard.
time. I understand. I've been through it myself somewhat, and I had a sire to help me through it. She doesn't go back downstairs though. She goes off into a different part of the upstairs.
All right. I just do the thing to make sure that she's not listening, and then I'm going to call the precinct.
Sure. Are you using like
I'm gonna call the line directly to my desk,
to your desk?
to my desk.
Are you calling dispatch and then giving them your number, or like what are you doing?
No, I'm calling the precinct line, but it goes to my actual phone. Like I assume that they have
Sure.
that in place. So, and I'm hoping that what happens is someone who is in the same wing
Department
department
will like just answer your phone.
will answer my phone. Yes.
Well, see, here's the problem with that. There's answering machines. So they're going to let it go over to your answering machine. So you're going to hear your voice being like,
Yeah.
"Oi, you grumpy
Actually,
cunt."
if you didn't show up for work,
I mean,
maybe somebody would leap over and be like, "Oh shit, his phone's ringing."
Yeah. So I assume that if that is the case, the answering machine will go
Yes,
off, and then I'll
detective.
be like, Michaels, pick up. It's Detective Holland. Or I'll probably say like it's Damon. You know.
Hey, it's Damon. Somebody pick up.
Yeah. Either that, or I can call another officer's desk. Like,
Yeah.
whatever's easiest.
Right. I mean, well, the other one's easiest, but the other, like, you want to call yours. I don't know, for
Get to my
clandestine
partner
sake or
or
something.
whatever. Yeah.
Your partner with you at the bar that night?
No, I don't think he would have been.
All right. So yeah, you can call your partner.
Mhm.
Tell me your partner's name.
His last name would be Michaels. I'm not sure on his first. So.
Michaels. Right. This is Detective Michaels.
Michaels, it's Damien.
Oh, hey, you didn't turn up for work tonight. Everything all right?
Yeah. Yes. Everything is good.
Uh-huh.
Listen, I
Yeah.
need you to do me a huge solid, if you would.
Yeah. I'll cover for you. Don't worry.
No. That's not what I need. I want to
What?
meet you in about 45 minutes. But I want you
I'm
to get
on
something for me.
Clock.
Yes, it's fine. It'll be fine. Trust me. This is part of the job. I need you to bring me the following things. So I want basically what I want is I want to get like a heat map or like something like that. And I'm not sure what they actually call it, but I'm pretty sure they have it that literally describes like the lines that we've sort of mapped out for crime in the city as to like where gang territories are and that
Oh,
sort of
gang
stuff.
territory?
Yeah.
You want like a gang territory map.
Yeah, and what I want to do, Wreckage, is I want to overlay that on the information that we get from these people here, like about where the territories of the vampires are. Because when we're at the bar, I noticed that there was like gangs there.
One of them was actually the Crip Sons.
Yeah, so
Or
I want to get an
the
idea of like what we're dealing with in terms of like the gangs that we're fighting. Because if it's actually gang stuff, then there might be an opportunity for us to like take our own slice of like a gang territory because there might be a lot of information that I have that can help us find.
All right, so
Yeah.
you're
Where are the tunnel snakes at?
Yeah, where the tunnel thing? Yeah.
in the
I
Fallout
hear they
universe.
rule.
I hear they rule.
They're in the Fallout universe, and we're not doing a crossover with the Fallout universe because I'm not a big fan.
So I
So,
actually have.
I'm gonna need you
Okay. Yep.
to roll.
So maybe this can be a part of like my influence advantages. in
This
the
would be
background?
like a charisma, like empathy or leadership, like depending on how you're going about this. Probably leadership, honestly.
Okay.
Like charisma, leadership, and because you're. It's sort of like a weird request. You're off. You didn't show up for work, and you're asking him to bring you work stuff while you're off work.
Yeah.
for
So
some
so
reason.
maybe I'll just be like, listen, I kind of fell into a gang a little bit, and I need
What?
to know. Yeah. I need to know where I sit.
What do you mean, Damien? You're not working in undercover anymore. What the fuck are you doing? It's illegal.
old habits die hard, I guess. Is that I need your help because I'm gonna see what I can do to get as much information before I leave. So I just need to know where.
Damien,
we
this
sit.
isn't like.
Michaels,
like,
I don't have time for your fucking Nancy ass bullshit right now.
Yeah,
Give
I
me
wanna-
the fucking paper. Meet me in 45 minutes.
Holland, I want to fucking help you, but like, dude, what you're doing is it's off the books. It's illegal.
You don't think I know that?
Fuck, man. Like, I thought you were clean.
Oh, I'm as clean as they come. I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing this to keep the streets fucking clean. You should know.
Oh,
that
so
by
it's
now.
vigilanteism now, huh?
Just bring me the fucking papers. 45
All right.
minutes.
This is charisma leadership.
Okay.
All right, you got one success, or is
No,
that was your roll?
That's
That was a previous roll. That was your fear roll. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my fear. So this is 6 difficulty.
Yeah, normal difficulty.
1 success.
Ah, fuck, man. Like, sure, a gang map, whatever. That's fine. That's as far as I'm gonna go, though.
I don't need you to bring me any pieces or nothing.
Good.
I don't
Like-
want that shit.
Yeah, whatever. Where do you want to meet?
Is there like a cop donut shop somewhere?
I mean, there's always a bar that is particularly frequented by cops.
Yeah.
Cop bar.
I think that's where I'll go.
Yeah.
Somewhere
They call
like
it the Blues and Twos.
Blues and Twos. All right. Yeah.
And it also is like specializes in jazzy music.
Yeah.
It's
of
the
course.
Blues and Twos.
Nice.
Right.
Sure.
A lot of redheads there.
It's like a secret cop bar.
All right. What was that? What was that? I think it was a good pun, Tux. I missed it though.
A lot of redheads there.
God. I mean, what a callback, but that's still the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
All right, yeah. So I guess I'll hang up. And is there a way to wipe the number from the phone?
No, there isn't even like. Remember
I'll
that
make
caller ID was only ever
it's a
who
90s
called
phone.
Is
you.
there like
There's
a
not- yeah.
star 10 dash or whatever thing? Call the last number. Like, do I know
That
that?
was like, I think it was star 69.
Star 69 or
Called
something
back-
like that.
Called back the.
So just call a random number.
Yeah, that's
And-
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call a Pizza Hut or something like that. And then when they answer,
This is Pizza Hut, but it's in the world of darkness, so I'm fucking high out of my mind. What's up?
I hang up. I just hang up, and then I
Called
just go
Pizza
downstairs.
Smut.
Yeah, yeah.
Pizza Smut would be in the world of darkness. They would deliver you pizza and porno vids, and it would be completely legal in the world of darkness. In fact, I am making it so. It is done. You cannot go back.
Yeah. Because I remember in the 90s, I used to do Star 69 to work out who the fuck my brother was calling all the goddamn time so I can get up on him. But yeah.
In the 90s, I used to do Star 69 all the time, too. Hey!
Sex.
Sex.
Sexual intercourse, yes.
Of course.
When I was less than 10 years old.
Gross.
Now I feel old.
Yeah, you do.
I feel you, man. All right.
Oh, fuck you, Dave. You're not that old. Right. You go back downstairs then?
Mhm, yeah. So
All right,
that's
you guys are all
my
together.
cover. I've vigilanted into a crime syndicate somehow by process of elimination. Yeah.
So, what's the plan? Are we going to just tonight, I guess, go around and grab our stuff?
All right. Listen, I need everyone here to go get their stuff because I'm working on a way to get us a hidey hole, whatever you fucking call it.
Well, and I mean, I've been thinking too. I mean,
Let's just
nobody
call it a
knows where I
clubhouse.
live.
Let's just call it a
Nope.
clubhouse. All right.
Nobody knows where I live, so I mean, if we need to duck in anywhere soon, I mean, my neighbors don't even know I exist.
I'd rather not live in your house, though.
I mean, I'll clean up a little bit.
Murray like turns a page. He's like, "Don't you have like a landlord or something?"
Yeah, but I just slide the rent chunk under the door. I don't even think he knows what I look like.
I, for one, am staying here until Maria and I find an apartment.
Yeah. We get Alexa said we can stay here for 2 weeks, so we're not. We need to find the place, but we're not.
So this is gonna solve all of our problems. Listen, we're gonna take a slice away from a gang.
Look, whoa, look, okay, look, before you look, okay. That's really extreme. And I was thinking, like, we don't want to start the next segment anyway because we're running out of time. So let's just go to let's just do outros, and we can like kind of even think about what we're gonna do tonight over the course of the week.
I really
out of
don't
character.
appreciate that you're breaking the fucking fourth wall right now. Like,
I'm a Malkavian. I can do that.
Oh, Murray, I didn't know. Oh, okay, that's interesting then. Okay.
No, this is Rodney because I'm doing the Rodney voice.
They're similar.
they're very
Murray's
similar.
voice
okay?
is more like deep and like I can only do so many male voices. I can only, especially when they're all American. They don't have any weird accents.
Got it.
You could just start doing
Rodney's
the
our
H-
Deadpool. We get it.
You could just start
Rodney.
doing HK, which is just like extreme, extreme sadness. Man, that sucks.
All right. So, yeah, like it sounds like we're not actually gonna start anything tonight because we're gonna end here.
No, I get that,
so-
but that was just
right. No. So my point is,
Yeah,
let
so, like,
us use the week
Mhm.
to decide out of character and in character, like what you actually want to do
Right, yeah.
first.
Camera
and-
fades on us being like, so what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do? And then next week it comes up in media res, and
Find
somehow
out next time on LA at Night.
well. I know what I'm doing. I'm definitely gonna be like, now that I have superpowers, I'm gonna be a fucking vigilante and get all those crims I couldn't get before. That sounds like fun, man. Holy shit, that sounds like.
Oh
fun.
yeah, I don't
The
have
cops have failed this
Sheepdog. Doesn't even try to do any different voices. Gaming. That I don't have that range of voices.
Anyway, let's do some fucking shout outs. Tuesday, let's start with you.
Hi, I am excited to see what kind of digs we get next week. That'll be super awesome. Maybe we're gonna be in gang territory. Who knows? And we
Mhm.
also might get some answers too, which will be exciting.
Mhm.
In the meantime, you guys can catch me over at twitch.tv/TuesdayGray when I stream, which I do sometimes, and keep up with me on Twitter. Same tag.
Nice. Tux Row, shotgun in the belly, McDarmus. What up, sir? How you doing?
Hey everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Another good one. A lot of like figuring stuff out, which will be cool.
I imagine most maybe like 2 more weeks of this, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Throw a dude through a fucking barrier.
Well, I mean, let me preface almost immediately that Vampire the Masquerade is not meant to be a combat heavy system.
Mhm.
There will be a lot of this talking, asking questions, going to a
Which
person,
is cool.
getting information.
That'll be really cool to like, especially because
Blackmailing motherfuckers.
Because with our setup, there's an inherent mystery in who sired us, why they did it, what
Where
everyone
are
else is
they?
gonna do,
Yeah.
where like what the fuck's going on, how. Because also usually with vampires, there's like a very like, okay, so here's the thing: vampires exist. We want to turn you into a vampire, get things ready, and then we'll do it. And now we have to like pick the pieces of our lives back
For your
up because it just kind of
21st
happened to us.
birthday, I will sire you and bring
Exactly,
you into
yeah.
the underworld.
It's like a planned thing, and we're just
That's
kind of like,
Giovanni. Oh my God, that is exactly how Giovanni works.
like some of us have like families we have to go deal with and shit. It's gonna be crazy. So
Sweet 16th. Everyone becomes a
yeah,
vampire.
it's gonna be really cool.
If you guys have a shred of sense, you'll just fake your own deaths, and I won't be able to use your families
it's gonna be
against
way
you.
sadder than that.
Oh, it's gonna be way sadder.
It's gonna be way
than that.
sadder than that. I have to go to my family and figure shit out. I got a whole family. You don't even know.
Oh yeah. Are you going to
Don't
turn?
even know.
You
Are you
don't
gonna
even
turn?
know.
Are you gonna turn your family into a
Yes,
boudet?
I am. I'm
A
gonna be a whole
boudoir?
family of Zamizi.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna turn my family into vampires.
That won't have any negative repercussions. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how that would cause the entire
At the
campaign
literal
to end with your TPK.
The literal start of every episode would be, "Hey fam, how's it going?"
Hey, vampire fam.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm Tuxtradamus. You can find me Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all /Tuxtradamus. I'll be here tomorrow and Thursday. So check out those games, super fun. And then my own stuff Wednesday and Saturday.
Nice.
Thank you again.
And the Spooter who never stops spooting, Brian. What up, sir? How you doing?
Hello. Yep. I just want to kill hobos now. I literally want to be a fucking murder hobo. Yeah.
A hobo murderer,
I'll
thank
suck
you.
you,
A hobo
I'll
murderer.
suck you, I'll suck you, I'll suck
That's
you.
right.
I'll suck you. Line
You
up
get
for
a
the
bite.
sucking.
You get a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm Sputnik. 71. You can find me on Twitch. I will be streaming hopefully this week. You can also listen to my podcast. It's called Motion Sickness, the show. It's on iTunes and SoundCloud. And I'm revamping YouTube. Going to do some reviews instead of mindless gameplay. So look forward to that.
Nice. And last but not least, we have Dr. Wreckage, the storyteller. What up, sir?
Like 4 or 5, my dude.
Nice, my dude.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Please join us next week. Please join us later in the week for other shows. Void Barons.
Well, actually, next week there won't be any shows because you're moving house.
Right, that's right. Next week there isn't a show.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm moving my house. I'm moving the not moving my house. I'm moving the I am moving what I consider conceptually and legally to be my home.
I mean, do we even have a conceptual idea of a home these days? I mean, like,
right, like what is life? What is fucking up, down, gravity? It's all subjective. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope that you have had a great time with Vampire, and I hope you're excited to join us again in the future. After I do move house, I'll be able to commit a lot more time to creating internet content, which will not only improve the quality of this show, but increase the number of shows that I do, and it'll all be interesting, and we'll talk about it later. But for now, it's all just a internet pipe dream. Dave, why don't you tell them about you?
hey guys, thanks very much for watching. Yeah, if you haven't already done so, consider following the channel. And if you're feeling real saucy, why not subscribe, get access to my cock, spread it all over Twitch. News going forward, the Die Party replay was a fucking fantastic hit.
I'm so stoked about that.
Yeah,
in
it
general.
was such a good idea that I don't know, the functionality of Twitch just lined up perfectly with what Die Party is. So
Yeah.
you know, that's like the coolest thing about it. And so basically on the weekends now we're going to be replaying back this week and the previous week's episodes of the show so that everyone can get caught up. So if you haven't already seen it, you can watch LA at Night episode 1 and 2 on Saturday, as well as the rest of the week's content that gets released as well. We're also running a historical replay for Fulcrum at the moment. And once we get through all that content, we've done like 5 episodes on the weekend. And once we get through all that content, it'll be probably Senators that gets the next showing.
I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. After we end the show, I'll talk more about Patreon and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. We outie. Have a good night. Bye-bye.